Now, if I didn't know any better, I'd say that you're looking at running for president.
Do it. Do it. Look at me. Do it. I will personally write you a campaign check now on behalf of this country, which does not want you to be president, but which badly wants you to run.
I am officially running for President of the United States, and we are going to make our country great again.
There's not going to be a President Donald Trump.
I think that man will be president of the United States right about the time that spaceships come down filled with dinosaurs and red cake.
Donald Trump has been saying that he will run for president as a Republican, which is surprising since I just assumed he was running as a joke.
Donald Trump will not become president.
I continue to believe Mr. Trump will not be president.
Donald Trump will never, ever be president.
Moderator, but apparently believes that Donald Trump is a clown.
President Obama will go down as perhaps the worst president in the history of the United States! Exclamation point at real Donald Trump. Well, at real Donald Trump, at least I will go down as a president.
You're never going to be president of the United States by insulting your way to
Let's see, I'm at 42 and you're at 20.
We have a key race alert right now. Donald Trump now has reached the number of delegates needed to clinch the Republican presidential nomination.
So, right now, Mr. Trump, to answer your call for political honesty, I just want to say, you're not going to be president, all right? It's been fun. It's been great. I love you. But come on, buddy.
Donald Trump, while we project, will win in Kentucky with its 8th electoral votes, in Indiana with its 11th electoral votes, West Virginia, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Mississippi, South Carolina, Alabama, Kansas with its 6 electoral votes, Nebraska with its 5 electoral votes, and Wyoming with its 3 electoral votes, North Dakota with its 3 electoral votes, and South Dakota, Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, the state of Montana, Missouri, Ohio, Idaho, North Carolina.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear. Do solemnly swear.
Together, we will make America great again.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to CobraCast 199. I am your host, D-Day Cobra. We are in Pensacola Studios, the 199, representing in Pensacola. And holy crap, we've already got 1,000 people here, and the intro just got done. Can you hear me okay? I got everything updated, and I think we're good to go. Look at the chat. Look at the chat going crazy. Low volume. I don't know why the volume is low. Of course, you guys say that every single time. So I don't know if the volume's low or not. I don't know. It doesn't matter. What does matter? But I think most of you are trolling me, but that's okay. We're here. We got a lot to talk about. There's a lot going on. Brimstone's already asking about Fortnite. Already? Come on, already. Some people are saying it's low. I've got it turned up as loud as I can turn it up. So I don't know what else I can do. I'll just talk louder. Your camera is broken, though. I can see you too well, says Can Man. It's a busy week. It's a busy week for us. And, man, MegaCon week is here. I'm actually going to be traveling, so I'm obviously in Pensacola right now. I've got to make my way back to Orlando, and we've got a crazy week. No Tuesday Night's Main Event tomorrow. That doesn't mean there won't be a stream. It just means there's no Tuesday Night's Main Event. I'm not saying there will be a stream either. I'm trying to work through it. But, yeah, man. And then, obviously, we'll see what happens. Nagranal becomes a member of the Snake Pit. What's up, Nagranal? I saw Dom dropped like 5 gifted memberships already. Thank you, Dom. And thank you to everybody for being here. Great crowd today. There's a lot to talk about. Obviously, if you go back like a year ago, this is like a year ago, maybe even more than a year ago at this point in time. So we used to do a political stream on, it rotated between this channel and Ryan's channel, and Suresh was part of it. And we talked a lot about, things that we thought were going to happen. And then eventually CobraCast actually turned into something. And with time, I just didn't have time to continue that political stream. But if you go back, I said a couple of different things. I said, number one, I don't think Joe Biden is going to be the nominee in 2024. And I stand by that. I still do not believe Joe Biden will be the nominee. But I also said there's still going to be something they're going to roll out. They're going to roll out something, and what is it? They can't do another COVID. They can't do another, there's a disease or something like that, or a virus. They can't pull that card. What card will they pull? You can go back. I don't remember specifically what episode, but I said the new COVID is war. That's what I said. The new COVID is war. And now we are on the brink of World War III. And World War III, those words mean something to the general public. They mean something. And that's what they're banking on. They're banking on World War III. All right? They're banking on that. So we're going to have to see how this all plays out. But I'm very concerned. I'm very worried. And, this is the only play they have. They've locked up Donald Trump. Volume is low on TV screens. See, this is an issue that I don't really understand. And Hailstorm, I don't know if you're here, if you can add anything to this, but like Hailstorm's actually tested this out. And we have figured out that there's different levels of the volume on different devices. Hailstorm, are you here?
Yep.
But so what have you found out through this?
You're low on TVs.
Is there something, how can I fix that?
I would have to just look at your setup.
All right. Yeah, but it's weird because I don't really understand it. But anyway, I'm aware of that issue, but I don't know if there's anything I can do about it. But at least I'm aware of it. So anyway, thank you guys, and thank you, Hailstorm. But yeah, going back to the point at hand, it's just like anything else. Like Gary, my friend Gary from Nerdrotic, he's about to hit 1 million subs. All right. And people are going to view Gary in a different way because Gary's going to have 1 million subs. He's the same guy as he's always been. He's awesome at what he does. But once he hits 1 million, there's going to be a different perception around him. That's just how things work. It's all relative. It's all relative. And when you introduce the idea, like we can have overseas conflicts going on. We can have troops on the ground. We can have conflict going on. But if you name that conflict World War III, it means something. It matters to the general public. You can have we can just have conflict going on. But if it's called World War III, suddenly it's panic time. It's panic time. You know what I mean? And that's what they're banking on. They're banking on scaring the living hell out of everyone because they can't defeat Donald Trump straight up. They've already proven that. They've tried everything. They've indicted him. They've raided Mar-a-Lago. They've attacked his family. They've attacked everything, and they cannot stop him. So now... And trust me, politicians are willing to go to war over anything, but they're certainly okay. They're certainly okay to go to war to stop Donald Trump. Absolutely. Not even close. Not even close. So that's kind of the latest right now. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. At the end of the day, is anyone surprised by this? 2024 just getting started. We're not even through January yet, and we're talking about going to war. That's where we're at. And we got a video from Tucker Carlson that we're going to hear from him talking about that. But first, I want to say hello to everyone here. I see Just That Clown says, come on, man. Come on, man. Forgotten Pepe says, I'm a Taylor Swift haha normie. Did she win American Idol or something? So the whole thing with, we'll talk about the Taylor Swift stuff. I probably have a different take than a lot of people, but we'll see. But Benny Johnson, who I just got off the phone with earlier, Benny Johnson's got a video out about it that I haven't watched, so I'm really interested to hear his take on it. But I know with the whole NFL and the Travis Kelce, here's what I do believe before we get into everything. I 1,000% that Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift is a made-up relationship. I do not believe that relationship at all. I don't believe it. I don't think it's a real relationship. I think that's a fake relationship. But we'll get into all the other stuff going on with the ramifications of that. But I think that's a fake relationship in every way, shape, or form. Dom H with those 5 gifted memberships. Let's go. Mike Hill says CM Punk was injured during the Royal Rumble match and will miss WrestleMania. I just saw that promo. One of the best promos Punk has done in a long time, and that says a lot because Punk is a great promo. But, yes, I did see that promo. It was really good. Scully Bones says, hello from Foley. From Foley, Alabama? Not far from me because I'm in Pensacola right now. Foley, Alabama's got a couple of good retro shops over there. So that's awesome. Hello. Replicate Patriot gifting a D-Day Cobra membership. Thank you. Christian Mari, is it Mararo? Do you think Nikki Haley is still in the race because she has insider info on the deep state, what will deep state will do to Trump? I firmly believe that that's her intent, and I firmly believe that she probably has the same people in her ear that were in Ron DeSantis's ear. And yeah, I mean, if you look at just look at Ron DeSantis and how he's been, acting. Like, since he's gotten out of the race, Ron DeSantis is a completely different person. Have you guys seen this? Like, on Twitter, Ron DeSantis is doing, selfie videos, which are a lot more, relatable to the people. It doesn't feel as rehearsed, and it feels more authentic. Has anyone noticed this, or is it just me? Ron DeSantis feels completely, normal now, whereas when he was running for president, he felt like he was being completely controlled. You know what I mean? It felt like he was completely controlled. And now he's in the car doing selfie videos and shit like that. Nikki Haley probably has the same people in her ear that DeSantis had in his ear. Now, the problem was DeSantis failed miserably. And for some reason, Nikki Haley has basically put herself in the right position at the right time to seem like she has support that she doesn't really have. And so, while I don't know if she's got any real insider information, I do think she's being propped up by people that hate Donald Trump and are hoping for a Hail Mary attempt. And I don't think that Hail Mary attempt is going to come. I firmly sit here today telling you that I believe Donald Trump will 1,000% be the nominee for the Republican Party, and he will ultimately win in a landslide. He's going to, now again, this is all presuming that Joe Biden is the nominee, which I still hope that I'm wrong on by saying I don't think he will be. But I absolutely know that Trump will destroy Biden head to head. And that's why I don't think he will be the nominee. But yeah, I think Nikki Haley is hoping for something that no one can foresee to kind of throw a wrench into plans, but it's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Let's see. BK says, I think we should call her Taylor Snift from now on. Vic Whiplash in the house with 10 gifted memberships. Let's go, Vic Whiplash. Let's see. Just That Clown says, make sure mic is mono, not stereo record. Yeah, I have all of my settings are good to go. So I don't know. I don't know why. I even tested everything out. My levels look great. One thing I'll check really quick. Advanced audio properties. Yeah, everything is good. So I don't know why I would be having any issues. But most people are saying they don't have any issue. Anyway. Mikey likes it, says, sounds good, looks good. Okay, well, let's slow down, bro, okay? I mean, you don't have to state the obvious. I mean, we know why there's 2,300 people here, and it ain't for my opinions, okay? It ain't from my opinions. And I just want to say that if you're here to objectify me by throwing me super chats, let's just say that I accept that, okay? I accept that. So, it's okay. Lord Dredd says Trump 2024, let's go. Cellular Dream says, Jeremy, there's a war going on in my pants. Good Lord. Greg Kirby says, Swift works for CIA and bought by George Soros. Hi. Lord Botha says, fun to see the government play the greatest hits again with the war in the Middle East. Oldie, but a goodie. Anyway, here's to hoping it doesn't happen. Yeah, same here. Anthony Buck says, November can't come sooner. Anyone still voting for Biden needs to seriously look at their priorities. On a different note, roll tide, brother. Luke Skywalker becomes a new member, which you dropped 5 gifted memberships on my gaming stream last night, and that was appreciated. Mikey Likes it, says, nice. Darth Racer for 20 says, Jeremy, the only people who could be swayed by Taylor Swift would vote for Biden anyway. She's speaking to her own choir, so it's a big nothing burger. You might be surprised at my reaction. You might be surprised at my reaction. But that is the talk of the town right now. I mean, I made a tweet the other day. Let's get the chat up in here really quick. I made a tweet the other day, and I mean, I obviously watch sports. We have a sports channel and everything. But this was my response right here, and I was like, people that don't watch football complaining about the NFL praising Taylor Swift is almost as bad as the NFL constantly praising Taylor Swift. Like, I don't like Taylor Swift. I liked her when she was a country singer. I don't think I can't name a Taylor Swift song since her country songs. I except for, like, it was just like one that went really. It was a big hit she had. I don't know. I don't like Taylor Swift. And I also don't like the fact that she's obviously a Biden supporter, which shows how idiotic she is. I honestly, until a few years ago, I didn't even realize that she was this big celebrity. Like, I knew she was a big star, but I didn't realize how big of a celebrity she had become. Like, it's insane how popular this chick is, who I don't think is like, I guess she's decently talented, but I don't think she's not like anything special from my perspective, but whatever. People have low standards on their entertainment and their musicians these days. I don't know. I don't keep up with a lot of current music as it is, but the Taylor Swift stuff has caught fire since the Super Bowl and since the NFL playoffs, and her and Travis Kelce are in a fake relationship. In my opinion, I think it's a very fake relationship. I don't buy this relationship at all, and I think that this is simply something like a typical Hollywood PR thing. But I don't think that it's as innocent as maybe some people think. I also don't think it's as devious as some people think. Like, I do think that there is an attempt to try and sway younger voters. No doubt about that. I think that there is an attempt to sway younger voters. Absolutely. I think they are highly, highly, highly overplaying the influence of Taylor Swift, though. I think they are highly overplaying the influence of her. I don't think she has any real influence to sway anything. I just don't. I don't think she has that type of influence. I think she has influence with a bunch of retarded people, but those people were already retarded enough to vote for Biden. So I don't think she has any real influence. But Benny Johnson, I know some of you think Benny Johnson did a great video, and we're going to talk about that. Dougie B just dropped a $100 Rumble rant and says, hail Snake Pit, Rumble, Kick, and YouTube. Hail Jeremy. Hail to the GOAT, number 34. Sweetness be in Orlando tomorrow. Doug B will be in Orlando tomorrow. And he's giving a shout out to Walter Payton. Sweetness. But thank you, Dougie B in the house. And yeah, shout out to you guys. We're live on Kick. We're live on Rumble. We're live on YouTube. And I appreciate all of you being here. But let's listen. Like I said, I was just talking to Benny. I have not watched Benny's video yet. Okay, I haven't seen it yet, but we're going to watch Benny's video. Here's Benny's video right here, okay? So let's watch Benny. Now, again, mods, make sure you drop a link to Benny Johnson's video. This is a 41-minute video, Benny. Holy shit. Benny, a 41-minute video? I didn't know it was 41 minutes. Holy shit. All right, so Benny's awesome. God damn it, Benny. 41 minutes. I don't know if we're going to watch all of this, okay? So here we go. Here we go. Benny Johnson. Shout out to Benny.
Very top security stuff. Because if people knew how we did it, then everyone would do it. Then our enemies would do it. We can't let our enemies get their hands on this.
Get their hands on what? Dude. Hi, I'm the problem, it's me.
I don't know that song. I don't know many Taylor Swift songs, man.
Benny, I
remember her song Tim McGraw. That was like a country song. I remember Tim McGraw. All right?
Didn't talk about politics on this channel, but we always find ourselves inexorably talking about culture. That is because the two topics are linked. Politics is downstream of culture, my mentor used to say. His name was Andrew Breitbart. He came from Hollywood, and he's a very, very smart man. Andrew Breitbart knew what many other smart people know, which is that the nexus of how Americans...
Dom H says Jeremy's lying. He knows a lot. I don't. All right, I'm going to name you every Taylor Swift song that I know the name of. I know Tim McGraw. I know Our Song. And You Belong to Me. And Love Story. I think, and those are all from like when she was a country singer. That's the only ones I know. That's the only Taylor Swift songs I know. And they're all from the country songs, or the country era. That's it. That's all I know. That's it.
See themselves and what they believe is actually formed in media, Hollywood, celebrity culture, entertainment culture, music industry, sports industry. You could call that the cultural nexus, the cultural creators of our nation. They're very, very powerful.
Stop being mean to me, chat. All right? Stop it. I'm sure that'll make you stop.
Powerful. Very influential. And so that is why some of the more pernicious, oligarchical forces inside of our culture, the regime, have always wished to influence those influencers. This is a tale as old as time, by the way. The CIA, since its very inception, have had a cultural liaison position in order to tell Hollywood what to do, and actually in order to fund Hollywood movies and TV series so that they can influence you in the way that you think.
So is Benny building the narrative that this is like the CIA is behind this? Like the CIA and the FBI are behind this? I just can't see this, man.
This is a tale as old as our intelligence agencies. How the CIA infiltrated Hollywood. Let's read, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, you'll see, Jeremy.
In the year the CIA was formed, Pentagon established the position of Entertainment Liaison Officer. The CIA already had similar departments in operation since 1947. They have assisted and funded the production of 60 films and television shows. However, to begin with, the initial aim was in order to hide the existence of that operation. They tried to even bribe Alfred Hitchcock, one of the most famous directors of all time, in order to change his scripts. They've since gone on to fund movie after movie, production after production, and even establish a base inside of Hollywood itself.
Okay, so let's hypothetically, okay? Let's hypothetically say that Taylor Swift is a psyop. Does she have the influence? No. She doesn't, in my opinion. And maybe I'm just oblivious, okay? She doesn't have the influence. I refuse to believe Taylor Swift has the influence to shift the entire culture for an election. I just don't think she does.
So that scriptwriters and movie producers can come by and get their scripts approved by the CIA, the FBI, and other three-letter agencies. This is how tied in our government is with our entertainment industry, our influence industry, the problem, however, is that nobody really gives a damn about Hollywood anymore, and American culture is lesser than ever created inside of the box office, and now it's created outside in social media and in a very different engagement. And they are grappling desperately, the regime, to try and take control of that narrative, to harness it for their ends. And those ends, of course, are always more power. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us nicely to the table setting for today's conversation. Jack Posobiec setting the internet on fire, tweeting, thinking about when Taylor Swift called out the Soros family in 2019 for buying the rights to her music, and then how she came out as super duper liberal in 2020. Now, there's so much to talk about here.
So I'm not aware of her calling out the Soros family, but you know, and then her going. Wasn't there like video of her? Wasn't there like this video of her crying about like the 2020 election or like back, or was it 2016? I can't remember. Wasn't there like video of her talking to her family where she's like crying or some shit like that about like how she can't support Donald Trump and all this shit? Wasn't there? I think, if I'm not mistaken. And by the way, over on Rumble, we got Doug B, who says, dude, I don't know any. What's up with that? Got something to share with the class, do we? I mean, if I'm trying to hide something, I wouldn't admit that I know the song Love Story, okay? Like, that was a pretty big hit, though. But yeah, when she was a country singer, I actually liked her music, and I respected the song, the type of music she was playing. When she went full pop star, I don't know anything about her pop star songs. I know nothing about them. Bro, I didn't know, what's that song from The Weeknd? I didn't hear, like, Blinding Lights. I'd never heard it until I was hanging out, like, in Vegas. It was for the Vegas meetup, I think, that we had, and Krista played the song. And I'm like, dude, this song's awesome. What is this? And she's like, you don't know this song? I'm like, no, this sounds like a retro 80s song. What is this? It's The Weeknd. What's The Weeknd? I didn't know. I had no idea. And Blinding Lights is one of my favorite songs now. Like, I'd never heard it. I'm so disconnected from current music. It's crazy. But Blinding Lights is a fucking phenomenal song. Anyway.
And there's nothing wrong with Jack's tweet. Everything he just said is empirically, factually correct. You will recall that Taylor Swift, somebody I'm certainly not a fan of, and her music is banned in my household, Taylor Swift was never really that political. She started off as a country western star, presumably with relatively conservative roots, growing up in the wilderness in Tennessee, right? Relatively rural Tennessee. Taylor Swift starts plucking her guitar. She was never political. She never waded into the greater overarching conversations about the political nature of her industry or this country, not through the Obama years, not through Trump 1.0, term 1.0, until something absolutely spectacular happened. Until George Soros bought all of the rights to her music. This is real.
To purchase my music outright. My entire catalog was sold to Scooter Braun's Ithaca Holdings in a deal that I'm told was funded by the Soros family, 23 Capital, and the Carlyle Group.
Taylor Swift really didn't like this. She was quite upset about it. She made public statements about how angry she was that George Soros had weaponized his billions in order to buy her music. But ladies and gentlemen, was this one of the largest influence operations in world history? Let me give you some information to back this up. So, one, Vivek Ramaswamy, who, former presidential candidate, pretty powerful, influential dude himself, tweeted, I wonder who's going to win the Super Bowl next month, and I wonder if there's a major presidential endorsement coming from an artificially culturally propped up couple this fall. Just some wild speculation over here. Let's see how it ages.
See, I like Vivek, okay? I also watch football. And when Lamar Jackson's dumbass is throwing into triple coverage, or when your stupid-ass players it gets a huge gain and then makes a boneheaded personal foul that backs you up 15 yards. When you fumble at the 1 yard line, when you literally have every opportunity to defeat arguably one of the greatest quarterbacks we've ever seen, and you don't actually follow through, you're going to lose the game. Like, the Ravens had every fucking chance to win that game, and they fucked it up. They fucked it up. That's what happened.
Ages over the next 8 months. That's created headlines like this. Vivek Ramaswamy claims the Super Bowl will be rigged in order to set the stage for Taylor Swift's endorsement of Joe Biden. Oh, baby. This has caused some of the more cortisol-enraged, engorged, apoplectic, seizure-having, heart palpitation commenters on the internet, of course I'm talking about Meghan McCain, to screech whatever nutjob Republicans are floating ugly and insane conspiracy theories about Taylor Swift are total idiots. I know that Ben and I are pulling for a Super Bowl engagement and support her and Travis. Let them live. They're America's golden couple. Interesting that a McCain may potentially be involved in, knowingly or unknowingly, in an intel psyop.
As for the record, I hate Meghan McCain very much, just for the record.
Isn't that interesting? So, who is correct here? Is it Meghan McCain? Or is it Jack Posobiec and Vivek? Well, I'm sure you already know which side of this argument I'm going to come down on, but it's worth presenting to you the evidence and the facts, ladies and gentlemen. As we've already covered, the politically amorphous, politically agnostic Taylor Swift is very, very smart, by the way. You gain a ton of audience by not going super political, right? Especially if you're an entertainer or a Hollywood celebrity or somebody who's in the public entertainment eye. Taylor Swift decided to stay out of politics all the way up until George Soros bought her entire catalog of music. Was this catalog of music used as a manipulation leverage wedge over Taylor Swift? Well, let's go ahead and look at her actions afterward. Taylor Swift complained about George Soros buying all of her music, and then, less than 1 year later, Taylor Swift is straight up baking cookies for Joe Biden. I spoke with V Magazine about why I'll be voting for Joe Biden as president. So apt that it's come out on the night of the VP debate. Going to be watching and supporting Kamala Harris.
See, but this happened with The Rock. So The Rock has never gotten political. And then suddenly The Rock shows up in 2020 with that horrible video where he endorsed Joe Biden. And I made a video on this channel talking about it. A lot of these nutjob celebrities started to rally around Joe Biden because they couldn't live with another 4 years of Donald Trump. There's so many of these celebrities just had to get out there and tell everyone to go vote for Joe Biden. And The Rock got a lot of criticism for it, rightfully so, and even cried when his replies were basically all MAGA supporters in his comment section. We saw a lot of celebrities that hadn't typically gotten involved with politics suddenly because the desperation of another 4 years of Donald Trump it just can't happen. So I want to see more evidence.
By yelling at the TV a lot. I also have custom cookies. Oh, wow. Look at that. Vote. The propaganda poster straight out of 1984. It gets worse.
And if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, chat, I feel like there was a lot of celebrities that had that same exact vote, propaganda vote poster, if I'm not mistaken. I recall a lot of them. And the reason is because I kept seeing on my timeline because of Chris Evans, who's clearly a gay man. No matter how much he wants to pretend that he's getting married to a female, we all know that's a cover-up. But Chris Evans, I feel like he was really pushing that whole vote campaign bullshit. So there was a lot of like celebrities that were tied into that dumbass campaign.
Taylor Swift endorses Joe Biden for president. Swift has largely stayed out of politics before 2018 out of fear of isolating her audience. Ladies and gentlemen, what was the catalyst for Taylor Swift jumping into politics? Oh, lucky for us, it's on film.
So you think Taylor Swift comes out against Trump?
I remember seeing
this. I don't care if they write that.
I'm sad that I didn't 2 years ago, but I can't change that. I'm saying right now that this is something that I know is right, and you guys, I need to be on the right side of history. And if he doesn't win, then at least I tried.
Oh, so you're on the right side of history, Taylor? Because you know how many people have died, how many now we're gonna have wars started. So you want to take the position that you were on the right side of history by supporting Joe Biden. So do you want to sit there and claim? Do you want to claim all of the death that has happened with all of the war that's gone on, the destruction of our country? Do you want to claim responsibility for that, Taylor Swift? What a nut job.
Yeah, the right side of history. Makes a million songs about bad choices in men, endorses Joe Biden. So the memes are great. The memes are great. The tweets weren't, by the way. So in case you're wondering exactly how psyopy all of this is, since when did Taylor Swift care about the mail? Like the post office? Are those two things that you connect together? Probably same IQ, your post office little blue box plus Taylor Swift.
I see Disco Cobra has a $50 super chat, and he says, what'd you say? You mean the hundreds of millions of legions of fans that you don't think she could come out and say vote Biden or whoever she wants and they would be swayed? I mean, you would be surprised. Some don't think for themselves. Fans worship these people. I have no doubt that Taylor Swift has support within her fans. I don't think that her fans are people that need to be swayed in the first place. The majority. Obviously, there's some, but we're not talking about, I don't know how many fans Taylor Swift has. Let's say Taylor Swift has 100 million fans. She's not swaying 100 million people to change their vote. It's not like she's going into a MAGA rally and telling a MAGA crowd to vote for Joe Biden. She's telling an already typically liberal, pro-feminism, pro-woman power bullshit people, young, impressionable minds that are already against MAGA and toxicity. So my point being is, yeah, maybe 10% of her audience can be swayed. You know what I mean? Like, okay, 10%, but it's not like she's taking an audience that's already going one direction and making them flip to another.
Probably similar IQ levels, nonetheless. I'm talking about like the box you drop the letters into. No, I'm just joking here, Swifties. Yet here it is on your screen. A bunch of cortisol-infused raging tweets about the post office from Taylor Swift? What? What is this? Like, in no world, I'm a very creative guy. Like, I can think of a lot of, like, strange partnerships, but never did I think Taylor Swift and United States Post Office. Let's read, shall we? From August 15th of 2020.
Like, I honestly, like, I feel like Taylor Swift. And again, I'm speaking a little out of pocket here because I really don't know much about anything she does. But, like, she's clearly a massive, massive star, okay? But her audience, just like anyone that kind of gets this massive boost in popularity, her audience is going to sway extremely young, just like Justin Bieber's audience did. You know, and how relevant is Justin Bieber now 10 years later after his audience grows up? Like, she's got a lot of influence with children. I don't feel like there's adults that are of voting age that are actually going to be influenced to the level that I would be worried about. Like, Justin Bieber was the biggest star on the planet 10 years ago. I don't know what Justin Bieber's doing these days. I have no idea, but no one really seems to care either. You know what I mean? Because his audience grew up. And so if Taylor Swift has a very, very young audience that can't really vote anyway. That's what I think. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, okay? Maybe I'm wrong.
Trump's calculated dismantling of the post office proves one thing clearly. He's well aware that we do not want him as our president. He's chosen to blatantly cheat and put millions of Americans' lives at risk in an effort to hold on to power. What? Donald Trump's ineffective leadership gravely worsened the crisis that we are in. She's talking about COVID. And now he's taking advantage of it to subvert and destroy our right to vote and vote safely. Request a ballot, vote early. So Taylor Swift, rage simping for mail-in ballots. And also, of course, repeating the known hysterical conspiracy theory that Donald Trump was trying to shut down the post office so that people couldn't mail their ballots in. Look at the engagement here. Goodness. 144,000 retweets? 600 and...
Well, okay, how popular is this chick? Okay, so let's, does she post on Twitter much? Let's go to her Twitter account. How popular is this chick? All right, Taylor Swift 13. She has 94.9 million followers on Twitter. Donald Trump has been off Twitter for almost 4 years, and he has nearly that many followers on Twitter. And so, I mean, 94 million followers is a lot of... Instagram will be another one, too. She's probably more active on Instagram than... and let's see.
279 million on Instagram.
So 279 million on Instagram. So who's another? I don't know. I mean... How many does Trump have on Instagram? I don't think Trump does a lot on Instagram. How many followers does Trump have on Instagram? And who's the most how many does Ronaldo typically, like Cristiano Ronaldo is usually the most followed person on like all these social media platforms. How many does he have on Instagram? I'm looking for a bar.
Has 23.7.
Yeah, so he's not. So how many does Cristiano Ronaldo have on Instagram? Because Ronaldo, I would imagine, so that would be the bar that I would. So if she has 200-something million followers on Instagram, how many does Ronaldo have? And that would be that's going to be the bar to find out how many. What you guys don't know who Ronaldo is? Really?
619 million.
There you go. So Ronaldo has over double the amount of followers that Taylor Swift has, and some of you don't even know who the hell Ronaldo is in the chat. All right? So that's the bar. Like Ronaldo, and I guarantee Ronaldo has more followers on Twitter too as well. I'd have to look it up. But again, I'm not saying she's not popular, but how many followers like Katy Perry? Katy Perry? Is that her name? Firework chick? Katy Perry, right? The girl, I Kissed a Girl and I Liked It song. I think she's got well over 100 million followers on Twitter. So again, is Taylor Swift popular? Yes, she's popular. Is she a megastar? Yes. I don't see I don't see this person that has like mega influence that's unworldly. You know what I mean? I don't see it.
61,000 likes? Goodness gracious. Taylor Swift tweeting about the post office. Lo and behold, Taylor got what she wanted. The resident of the White House was installed, and Taylor, well, maybe George Soros gave her...
Oh, I'm not pretending I don't know Katy Perry. Katy Perry was hot as fuck back in the day. I seriously forgot her name for a minute, but Katy Perry was hot as hell.
Music back. We're not sure exactly. Here's what we are sure of. The next chapter in this very peculiar little story. There's this dude named Travis Kelce. Now, no one even knows who the hell this guy is. And I don't pretend to be an NFL fan. I don't watch NFL games. I don't go to NFL games. But I don't know who Travis Kelce is. I know he's a tight end.
Now, see, the Taylor Swift-Kelce dynamic is 1,000. I do not believe this is a real relationship at all. Travis Kelce is bought and paid for. Travis Kelce, one of the greatest tight ends that we've ever seen in the NFL. No doubt about that. I'm going to give him his credit. He's up there with, Gronk, and, there's several other tight ends you could put in there, but like Kelce is definitely in that discussion. He's bought and paid for. He's garbage. I can't stand him. I have no respect for Travis Kelce. He will literally take anything. You just give him money, and he's willing to do it. I do not believe that him and Taylor Swift are in a real relationship at all. I don't believe it. And this is the part of it where I can at least buy into the bullshit and go, okay, but I think that we've seen this time and time again with these fake relationships with Hollywood people. 1,000%. And to be fair, like, people want to say the NFL's rigged and all of that. I don't think the NFL is rigged to the point of, like, specifically, it's 1,000% rigged to get the kind of overall result that they want the right teams in the right moments for the right games. All right? I don't think, like, individual games are specifically rigged, at least to the point where a lot of people do, but the NFL is geared to make sure that we get the right teams with the right markets and the right players in the primetime games so we can get the right amount of advertisement, 100%. And if you don't think that that's not real, you ain't paying attention. But that's everything. That's every sports league. That's everything. The rules are not designed for anybody to dominate. The rules are designed to make sure everything is on an even playing field, at least the idea of an even playing field, but making sure that the right teams in the right market with the right players are in the primetime games and in the playoff games, things like that. It's 1,000% what they do.
Since when has a tight end been famous? Not very often, to be honest with you.
Gronkowski was a pretty big star because Gronk was an awesome dude. Travis Kelce is a great player. He really is. But this thing right here, you're not going to convince me that they're in a real relationship.
Tight ends are not like celebrities, okay? Like, tight ends are effectively like glorified linemen that occasionally catch a ball. Well, like, Travis Kelce is not a big time celebrity. And I'm a guy who, like, really follows cultural trends very closely. Yet lo and behold, this guy out of nowhere suddenly starts getting massive Bud Light deals.
Now again, I'm with this argument here. I'm with this argument that Travis Kelce, especially after the Pfizer commercial, 1,000% behind this. Now, does anyone want to know why Travis Kelce is the person that was chosen to be this, in my opinion? Because of Patrick Mahomes. Because Patrick Mahomes, and I'm not a Patrick Mahomes fan, but I respect the fact that he's one of the greatest players we've ever seen. He's a generational talent, and there's no doubt about it. He's the best quarterback in the NFL since Tom Brady has retired. And this was their way to be connected. This is the way to have Taylor Swift connected to Patrick Mahomes by bringing the Travis Kelce dynamic into it. That I believe.
Right after the Dylan Mulvaney brand immolation, self-destruction. This is desperate. Bud Light is mocked over new ad featuring Travis Kelce. Men grunting in bid.
I just realized something. We are 12 minutes into this video. Benny, I love you. But what the hell? We got 30 more minutes of this? What? We got 30 more minutes of this? Oh my God. Oh man. Hayden Wayne. Holy crap, man. I don't know if I can take that much more of this. Hayden Wayne for 50 says, Ronaldo is a soccer player, one of the best in the world. That's not the bar. Swift is a global superstar, and her fans are rabid. She's increased the Chiefs' audience just by showing up. More first-time voters in 2022 after her Biden endorsement. Well, the reason I said that's the bar is I'm looking for the bar on social media to find out how big her following is relative to the biggest name on these platforms. So, like, for instance, Elon Musk, I know, has the most followers on Twitter at like 160 million or something like that. He might even be up to 170 now. So I know the bar on Twitter is that. I know Barack Obama has like 100 and something million followers. We know that's fake. And I know people like Katy Perry and Justin Bieber all have over 100 million followers. So Katy Perry, for instance, is a classic example. Katy Perry has 100 million. Lady Gaga, I think, too, has over 100 million followers. I don't know how many people have over 100 million on Twitter, But off the top of my head, I know it's Elon, it's Obama, Katy Perry, Bieber, and I think Lady Gaga. And so Taylor Swift, clearly she doesn't tweet a lot, so that has to go into the equation, but she's at like 95 million. That's a lot. It's obviously a lot. Of course it is. But the reason I said Ronaldo would be the bar is because I've figured he was at least one of the most followed people on Instagram, just to kind of understand that dynamic. That's why. Holy crap. Benny, 30 more minutes of this shit?
To reverse $20 billion Dylan Mulvaney disaster. So suddenly, this dude who, like, I've never heard of, and you've probably never heard of, becomes the face of Bud Light. That's a little strange choice, isn't it? It gets worse. So this Travis Kelce guy goes from being sort of the slovenly face of Bud Light, uber woke.
Okay, so he's making. I'm at to scoot forward because, I know the case he's making. Okay, so then you've got I love you, Benny. So guys, if you want to post a link to Benny's channel, because I'm not going to go through 40 minutes of this. I can't do it. It's good content. We got 3,000 people watching. I can't do it, though. I can't go through 30 minutes of Taylor Swift psyop. I want to know what point he's making, though. I do want to know what point he's making.
We all feel it, and we all know it. Ladies and gentlemen, as ever, it gets worse. So the team whose boyfriend she happened to pick happens to find itself on its way to the World Series again.
Super Bowl, Benny. Super Bowl.
Oh, yes. Against all odds, you'll see. Sealed with a kiss. Interesting. So the two of them smooching it up after the Super Bowl win. Look at how authentic. Oh, wow. Oh, my. Just.
Okay, they're hugging. Okay.
And young people enter Operation Taylor.
Go to 2435. Okay, 2435. 2435. All right, right here. All right, here we go.
I mean, I like her music. She's all right. But, I mean, have you ever wondered why or how she blew up like this? Well, around 4 years ago, the Pentagon's Psychological Operations Unit floated turning Taylor Swift into an asset during a NATO meeting. What kind of asset? A PSYOP for combating online misinformation. Listen.
You came in here wanting to understand how you just go out there and counter an information operation. The idea is that social influence can help encourage or promote behavior change, so potentially as like a peaceful information operation. I include Taylor Swift in here because she's a fairly influential online person. I don't know if you've heard of her.
Yeah, that's real. The Pentagon PSYOP unit pitched NATO on turning Taylor Swift into an asset for combating misinformation online. This is nothing new. In the 1950s, the government strong-armed Louis Armstrong into doing propaganda tours across Africa. The CIA did the same thing with jazz singer Nina Simone, except they did it without her really knowing. In the 70s, Nixon enlisted Elvis in his war on drugs. He gave the king a badge and named him a covert federal law enforcement agent. Michael Jackson was tapped by Reagan, using his song Beat It in his public service campaigns against teen drinking and driving. Michael Jackson persuading minors not to drink. Anyway. So is Swift a front for a covert political agenda? Primetime obviously has no evidence. If we did, we'd share it. But we're curious, because the pop star who endorsed Biden is urging millions of her followers to vote. She's sharing links. And her boyfriend, Travis Kelce, sponsored by Pfizer. And their relationships boosted the NFL ratings this season, bringing in a whole new demographic. So how's the PSYOP going? Well, as usual, Biden's not calling the shots because he doesn't even know who Taylor Swift is. He's confused her with Britney Spears and Beyonce.
You could say even this harder than getting a ticket to the Renaissance tour or Britney's tour. She's down in, it's kind of warm in Brazil right now.
Okay. Then he brings up a guest. Okay, so that's a great segment. Questions worth asking. We're Americans. We have a right to ask questions here. Ladies and gentlemen, what does the Pentagon say about this? On Wednesday, the Pentagon spokesperson, Sabrina Singh, pushed back against the Waters claim, referencing Swift's big hits in a statement saying, as...
Holy shit, that Biden clip was so bad. God, holy crap, man. We are fucked. This man ain't making no decisions whatsoever. All right, how does Benny... Let's see where Benny closes this thing out.
Gentlemen, Vivek Ramaswamy claims Super Bowl will be rigged for Chiefs to set the stage for Taylor Swift's Biden endorsement. Well, duh, right? Like, duh. Everybody can see what's going on here. People inside the sports world, like UFC veteran Paige Van Zandt, says Taylor Swift's Travis Kelce love story is 100% fake.
I agree with that. Again, so I agree that it's a fake love story angle. I agree that they would like, I guess where I differ here is I just don't feel like Taylor Swift has any real influence to have any significant sway with anyone that really matters. I guess that's really what this comes down to. I think she has influence. Like, I don't think many people have real influence. They have influence to nudge people in the direction they're already going. But they don't, I don't feel like, I don't know. I guess maybe I have more faith in retarded people than I should. But I guess I don't feel like she has any real influence to sway anyone. It's not like she's going to Chicago at 2 a.m. and talking to MAGA supporters outside of a Subway and talking them into going to vote for Biden. My point being is she's swaying people that are already swayed. Maybe she's motivating more people to go out and vote, but that's about it.
Everyone can see what's going on. So to back this truck up, before we play you this clip, you have Taylor Swift, who is not political at all. George Soros buys all of her music, uses it as leverage in order to force Taylor Swift. What's the one thing you would buy? Taylor Swift's very rich. What's the one thing you would get on Taylor Swift? What's the one thing she really cares about? I mean, presumably, right? Like her catalog of music, right? George Soros purchases that, uses it as leverage to force Taylor Swift in an operation, who knows who's running it, to come out and endorse Biden. She does. Biden gets installed in the White House. Taylor Swift rage tweets about Trump. They get their man in the White House. Barely alive. Warmed over, looking like a Krispy Kreme donut. Joe Biden. It's total eggplant mode, right? But Taylor Swift, boom, clap. Got him. Taylor Swift, then, out of nowhere, who has never shown any interest in football or the NFL at all, right? Ever. Had like 1 billion boyfriends, never shown any interest in any sport. Starts dating this guy in the NFL who gets ushered into the Super Bowl, who just signed a Bud Light, super woke, Pfizer, super woke, regime companies, regime-owned, regime-operated companies. By the way, the guy who runs Bud Light's a CIA asset. You do know this, right?
I do know that.
Brendan Whitworth?
Yes.
Like
Yeah, Benny actually covered that a long time ago. I guess ultimately, and I think we'll stop it there. Again, links to Benny's channel, if you're interested, because there's just a lot of pieces to the puzzle that he's putting together, which I totally respect. But I don't know, man. I mean, ultimately, I try to approach things in a most logical way that I possibly can, but I just look at for instance. And I have a lot of people that disagree with me on this, and I talk about it all the time. I firmly believe that the NFL ran Tim Tebow out of the league because he was a Christian and he was having mega influence that they didn't want. Like the media and the NFL just did not want Tim Tebow's, the numbers that they were turning when Tim Tebow was playing they were breaking records. And he was influencing Americans to pray and to become Christian and all of that. I know Tim Tebow wasn't the greatest player in the world, but he still won games, and he turned the needle. But he turned the needle in the wrong direction because they didn't want a respectable Christian man who women loved and dudes loved and everybody respected, and he lived his life like as a true Christian. They couldn't find any dirt on this guy at all. And they hated it. They hated that idea. So I'm not here to take up for the NFL and anything. Do I think that the NFL's behind this? I absolutely think the NFL wanted the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. I absolutely think that they want Taylor Swift to be a prominent figure in the Super Bowl so they can get more ad revenue and get more eyes on it. 1,000%. I just question how much influence she has to sway anybody from MAGA to Biden. That's where I differ on it. Yeah, it is what it is. So, okay. Thank you guys. 3,000 people here. Welcome to CobraCast 199. I appreciate all of you. Oh, while we're here, I gotta address something really quick. I saw this going around on social media. All right. And since we're at peak viewership, I want to do this at peak viewership. I can't stand when people just blatantly lie about me or my company or anything like that. And I don't think that the people that consistently lie about me will clip this out, what I'm about to say right now. But I'm going to show in front of peak viewership, all right? We've got, collectively, we've got over almost 3,500 people watching right now, all right? That's big numbers for me on this channel, so thank you all for being here. I saw a screenshot of a forum post going around on social media. Now, as you guys know, there's a lot of like drama with like Comicsgate, Ripaverse, all of this stuff. I'm friends with Eric July. I'm always going to have Eric July's back when it comes down to it. But there's a lot of drama going around. I don't care about drama. I don't care about any of that shit. But there's a lot of people that think that Geeks and Gamers is protecting Eric from any criticism. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but there's this forum post on my website. There's a forum post on my website where people said if they find out about it, they're going to delete it and they're going to remove it. Here's the fucking forum post right here criticizing my friend Eric July, and it created a good conversation, by the way, including criticizing me and Friday Night Tights. And Geeks and Gamers saying, they're protecting, they don't want anyone to know about this. Well, I'm saying it in front of the biggest fucking audience I possibly can, that you can go to my website right now and you can criticize me. You can criticize any of my YouTube friends. You can have whatever discussion you want. The only thing you can't do is dox and threaten and do anything that's blatantly illegal or trying to get me or my company in trouble. But if you want to go have a fucking criticism of Eric or me or Gary or Ryan, I don't give a shit. Clip that. Clip that and try to say Jeremy's trying to protect people. There's the fucking post. Go read it. Go fuck off with that nonsense that we're protecting people. Holy shit. Anyway, now that that's out of the way, it's just holy shit. FNT and Geeks and Gamers don't want anyone to see this post where Ripa's getting called out. Jesus Christ, man. It's such nonsense. I stay out of drama. I stay out of the bullshit because it doesn't interest me. If it's what you like, that's fine. Drama's awesome. I watch a lot of drama on the internet. I just don't like partaking the drama. So the nonsense that I'm here to protect anything or not, I want people's voices to be heard no matter what people's voices are. You can have your opinions. You can criticize. And I actually value the criticism. I'm glad that people go to our forums and have critical opinions of me and my team and all of that. Attacks are differently, but like if you're criticizing, I want to know what people that follow us say. I want to know what you think. And you can talk politics on those forums and anything like that. So anyway, I just wanted to put that out there. because that narrative is nonsense, that I was going to ban this person for coming to my website and having a critical opinion of me or FNT or whatever. Absolute nonsense, dude. Absolute nonsense. So, yeah, let's see here. All right. A lot of people here. Oh, my gosh, there's so much. There's so many super chats. And we got to talk about World War III still. Because Joe Biden needs a new COVID, and that's what World War III will be. As I predicted over a year ago. What did I say? I said over a year ago that they can't do COVID again. They can't do lockdowns again. They can't do masks again. So what are they going to do? They got to do something. And World War III is the perfect thing to do. Why? Because optics matter, words matter, labels matter. And when you have... If the news media goes and says, hey, we have boots on the ground, we have, military strikes. Oh, we're deploying, 300 soldiers or 800 soldiers or 2,000 soldiers. That's fine. Like, that doesn't really register with the general public. If you tell the general public, and you could have the same amount of soldiers going and having boots on the ground, but if you present that as World War III, suddenly everybody wakes up. Suddenly, it's different because it has the label of World War III. And when you use that type of language, Americans become scared. This is a historic event all of a sudden. Suddenly, this is historic. World War III? Are we going to be bombed? Are we going to be bombed? And that's what starts scaring people. Now, you want to talk about the Taylor Swift psyop and all that bullshit? I don't think it turns the needle. World War III turns the needle to the normies. 1,000%. World War III turns the needle and scares the living shit out of everybody in the middle that you want to sway. I don't think Taylor Swift sways people in the middle. I think World War III sways people in the middle. Absolutely. 1,000%. And that's what concerns me. Very much so. Very much so. Hayden Wayne. For 50. Jeremy, you're awesome, but you're dense as fuck on this one. She's got massive influence. The only argument against her being a psyop is that she re-recorded her music, making the masters basically worthless, that we're bought by Soros. Yeah, man, I don't see it. Okay, so Taylor Swift where does her influence begin and end when it comes to that? Where does it begin and end? Why did YouTube? Okay, YouTube is the number one platform on the internet, I guess, outside of, like, it's the number 2 search engine outside, I guess, Google. So YouTube's the number one place. That's where the most of the internet is, and it definitely has a massive young influence, or young audience, okay? Why is it that YouTube had to literally change their rules to protect the White House from being ratioed every time Joe Biden uploaded? Where was Taylor Swift's influence for young people to go and support the great president of the United States? Like, YouTube literally changed the rules because Joe Biden was getting ratioed to hell and back. Do you think if Taylor Swift starts telling everybody to go watch Joe Biden's videos and upload them, do you think that's going to last longer than a week or two? No. Like, she doesn't have any real influence. And I refuse to believe that Taylor Swift has real influence to sway a United States election. I just refuse to believe that. I don't think she has real influence. I think she has real influence with the people that support her. And anybody that already supports Taylor Swift and thinks highly enough of Taylor Swift's opinion already has the opinion Taylor Swift wants them to have. There ain't nobody that's a MAGA supporter or anybody that's even barely a Trump supporter. If you're even a secret Trump supporter, Taylor Swift is not going to sway your opinion. She just isn't. Like, imagine some guy who's like, I work 9 to 5, I've got a family, I love my family, but I'm not going to tell people that I support Trump, but hell yeah, man, Trump's my guy. Taylor Swift told me to vote for Biden? Well, I guess I got to pack that up. I just refuse to believe that she has that type of influence. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm naive. But I'm going to remain naive to not think that this dumb bimbo bitch has that type of influence. I just can't see it. I can't see that. And if here's what I'll say about that. If Taylor Swift has that much influence, we're fucked. Period. Pack it up. Even if Trump gets elected, if Taylor Swift has that much influence, we are fucked no matter what. It's over. We will never recover if Taylor Swift has that much influence. There ain't nothing to save us. All right? There's nothing that can save us if Taylor Swift has that much influence. Nothing. So even like at that point, I'm like, then I give up. Then I'm not even worried about supporting Trump anymore. If Taylor Swift can actually influence the election, I give up. I got nothing. There's no. We're fighting an endless battle here because we can't win. You know, that's how I look at it. But I refuse to believe it. I refuse to believe it. And maybe I'm wrong. But I would rather live. I'll live in my world where Taylor Swift doesn't have that much influence, because I'm not sure I can sleep good at night thinking Taylor Swift has influence of that level. Because holy shit, man, that would be bad. That would be really bad. Like right now, like I would say like mano a mano. I would say Trump is a more popular human being in the world than Taylor Swift. Throughout the world, I would say Trump is more popular throughout the world than Taylor Swift. And where is the majority of her fan base anyway, for people to be so worried about it? Are they predominantly in the United States, or is it predominantly overseas? Like, I would need to know the demographics and things like that. So, anyway, thank you for that, Hayden. Listen, Hayden sent me $50 to call me dumb, all right? For the record, you don't have to send me 50. You can call me dumb right now. But I prefer it to have money to it, but it's okay. You can still just call me dumb. You don't have to pay me. Let's see. Is it I don't know how to say this. Ogie V2 for 50 on Rumble. Hitler and Swift. Okay, hang on. Hitler and Swift. 1938, Hitler was named as Times Man of the Year. 2023, Swift named Times Person of the Year. 1939, World War II started. 2024, I do. Holy shit, that's a hell of a connection. Well, I do believe that we are set for a world war. I will say that I don't think that there's any way we don't have a world war. Even if it's not truly a world war, it will be labeled as a world war in the media. The media is going to call whatever involvement we get into, the media is going to call it world war. They have to. They have to call it world war in order to get the point across. And so just be prepared for that. Now, again, that's where I think the real problem is going to be. The real problem is world war and how it's presented to the general public. Hayden Wayne. Hayden's lighting it up tonight. Holy shit, Hayden. For 50, says Benny is setting up, and he lays it out. Look at the price of Swift's concert tickets and what scalpers were getting for them. People are buying those tickets. She was brought up in 2019 as somebody who should be recruited as an asset by the CIA. I hear you, man, and I'm not. Look, I just can't buy into this. Okay, Hayden's got a ton, so I'm gonna read all of Hayden's because Hayden is he's lighting me up. It's so tough to have people send you money just to call you out. Hayden Wayne, Taylor Swift is a psyop. She's one of the most popular people on the planet. Jeremy, is she? I'm genuinely, I'm asking. Like, help me understand how Taylor Swift is. Like, are her concerts like that much bigger than the second biggest person in music? Like, let's see. Let me do some searching real quick. So Taylor, who's the most? Okay, what's the Spotify? Is it Spotify? Who's the most downloaded musician? I guess most downloaded musician, most downloaded music artist. I don't know if this is so this is Route Note, top 10 most streamed artist of all time. That's all time. I don't want all time. I want like in 2023. 2023. Most popular music artist 2023. Is this Spotify? Do we have a list? Okay, so we have top 10 artists globally. Taylor Swift 1, Bad Bunny 2, The Weeknd 3, Drake 4. So Bad Bunny, I heard, what's his name? Patrick Bet David was talking about Bad Bunny and how popular and massively influential Bad Bunny is. Same with Drake. I know Drake is insane. All right. Yeah, Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro, number 1. All right. But I need to know, like, how do they make... I want to see the difference in the numbers. You know what I mean? Let's see.
Look
go
on
ahead.
Twitter.
Where?
Look on Twitter.
The
Cobra. I posted it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Got it. All right. Here we go. How do I... Okay, top 10 music tours of 2023. Taylor Swift, The Eras Tour, 1 billion. Beyonce, 579 million. Bruce Springsteen, 375 million. Coldplay, 325 million. So she's nearly double of Beyonce. Then you got Harry Styles, Morgan Wallen, all that. Okay, so of all these people, I mean, I wouldn't consider any of these people to be massively influential people in the culture. Like, yeah, Beyonce, I know Beyonce's popular. Beyonce nearly right at $600 million for her tour. So that's about 60% of what Taylor Swift did. Bruce Springsteen, like, Bruce Springsteen's a crazy left-wing lunatic. Nobody cares. Coldplay, I don't know what their politics are. Harry Styles is gay. I don't know if he's really gay, but I know he put a dress on. And then Morgan Wallen and Ed Sheeran. So... I don't know, man. I just don't see it. I don't see that this chick has that much influence, but the passion from the audience has definitely captivated our chat for sure. Hayden says, just to be clear, Taylor Swift was huge when I was in high school and her first album came out. The guys knew more of her country songs than the girls did. I can't stand her, but she has a pull with random people in the U.S. Look up ticket price. Let's see. Bad Bunny makes people lose brain cells. I can honestly sit here and tell you that I don't know a single Bad Bunny song. I don't know a single Bad Bunny song. I know none. I don't know any Bad Bunny song. So I don't know. How many where's Taylor Swift's major platform? Is it YouTube? Taylor Swift. How many subscribers does she have on YouTube? She's got 56 million subscribers on YouTube. All right, she's got 56 million subscribers on YouTube. How many does Justin Bieber have? Justin Bieber has 7. So Justin Bieber has 72 million. Is Bad Bunny on? Is he on? Is it he, right? Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny has 47 million. Like, she's not significantly bigger than any of these people. Drake. How many does Drake have? Drake has 29 million. So, I don't know, man. What? Listen, I'm glad there's a lot of people that don't know who Bad Bunny is, because I've never heard a Bad Bunny song in my life. So, Dan Vasquez, number 1 somewhere. Not anywhere that matters. That's the whole problem with that. So, all right, we need to shift away from Taylor Swift. Thank God. I didn't think that I was going to spend an hour talking about Taylor Swift. And let me be clear, I hope it's the last time that I ever talk about Taylor Swift on any show for the rest of my life. I want to die right now, because I spent an hour talking about Taylor Swift. I want to die. So, good Lord. But let's switch over to someone that I think does have some actual influence. Tucker Carlson. All right? Tucker Carlson. All right? So let's hear from Tucker Carlson here. And I thank you guys for being here, but we got to talk about war with Iran.
Yesterday, the Pentagon announced that 3 U.S. troops had been killed and dozens injured after a drone loaded with explosives struck them at a base in Jordan near the Syrian border. Now, none of that can be confirmed. The details, anyway, the location of the attack, and there's some question about whether that's true, but there is no question that American troops were killed yesterday, and the reaction to that, mixed with sadness, was highly political, in fact, even strategic. Within moments of this news breaking, Lindsey Graham, the Republican senator from South Carolina, called for blood. Quote,
Lindsey Graham is a horrible person. And I said this the other day on Twitter when I retweeted Lindsey Graham's tweet. And I said, find someone that loves you as much as Lindsey Graham loves war. And what really drives me crazy is Trump still praises Lindsey Graham. He praised him like last week at a rally. He's like, oh, Lindsey Graham, we love Lindsey Graham. No, we don't. We don't like Lindsey Graham at all, Trump. Just like when you got booed when you brought up the fucking jab and Operation Warp Speed, you need to realize that your base does not like Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham is a fucking piece of shit, and nobody that's MAGA likes Lindsey Graham. Fuck Lindsey Graham. Sick and tired of that dude, man.
hit Iran now. Hit them hard, he tweeted. Nikki Haley, of course, piled on. Here's what she posted to X. Quote, as a military spouse, my heart breaks for the families who lost loved ones. This shows the barbaric nature of our enemies in Iran, and it shows that they would not be attacking our troops if Joe Biden weren't so weak in his treatment of Iran. We should retaliate with full force, the full force of American strength. It's the only way to prevent further war. If we do not, these attacks will continue.
And I personally believe that here's my conspiracy theory about Nikki Haley. I think Nikki Haley is one of the main reasons she's remaining in. Obviously, they're hoping that they have their Hail Mary with Trump, but I think that she's there to continue to push forward that Republican narrative to support this obvious World War III that is something that the Democrats feel that they have to have in order to make people motivated to not support Trump. And because typically what happens when you have a war, you're like, well, we have a war going on. We can't change presidents right now. We have to continue the war. And Nikki Haley's there to kind of really push forward that narrative from the Republican standpoint, because obviously Trump's going to, go against that completely. But Nikki Haley has this image of being a Republican, even though we know she's not. And she's there to push forward this nonsense because she is another warmonger.
Interesting. All of this came immediately. They were joined by Wes Clark, the former presidential candidate and commander of NATO, and buffoons like John Cornyn, who apparently is a senator from Texas, etc., all saying the same thing. Let's go to war with Iran. They all said this in both sides. Here's Nancy Pelosi on CNN telling you yesterday that anyone who is not for this, who would like, say, a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas, is working for Vladimir Putin.
For them to call for a ceasefire is Mr. Putin's message. Mr. Putin's message. Make no mistake, this is directly connected to what he would like to see. Same thing with Ukraine. It's about Putin's message. I think some of these protesters are spontaneous and organic and sincere. Some, I think, are connected to Russia. And I say that having looked at this for a long time now, as you know.
You think some of these protests are Russian plants?
I say they're plants. I think some financing should be investigated. And I want to ask the FBI to investigate that.
I despise seeing her and hearing her, and the fact that she's still alive, the fact that she's still living and breathing is a shocker. But yeah, term limits.
It's hard for most people to believe that a person in his or her 80s could be evil, but she is evil, and
Yes.
she's speaking lies. What you heard is totally dishonest. But there's a point to the dishonesty, and that is a war with Iran, which people in Washington have been agitating for more than 20 years. So are we going to war with Iran? Are we already in a war with Iran? And if so, what are the consequences? Most Americans have no idea. It's not even something they're thinking about, but they should be. Joe Kent is a former Green Beret. He's a combat veteran who lost his wife in one of these wars. He's running for Congress in Washington State in the 3rd Congressional District, and he has an interesting and highly informed perspective on this, and we're honored to have him join us now. Joe Kent, thank you so much for coming on today. So when you see all of this, and you hate to be cynical, but you really can't be too cynical when you're dealing with the war party in Washington. It did seem like a coordinated response very quickly, moments after the announcement of the tragic death of these American servicemen. What do you make of the response from both parties in Washington to the deaths yesterday?
I mean, this whole thing, we've seen it coming, Tucker. We left our troops in these vulnerable locations, like on the Jordanian, Syrian, and Iraqi border. Our troops have been attacked, we think, at least 150 times since the October 7th incident began. And so we've seen this coming. This was an inevitable conclusion. So by leaving our troops in these...
Yeah, this has always been part of the plan. Like, if there's only one thing that you can do to top COVID, and it's happening. Look, we're in January, man. We're in January. We need this to play out perfect. You can say whatever you want about the Democrats and the left. They ain't stupid. They ain't stupid. They know what they're doing. They're devious. They're twisted. And they have a plan. And they work unified in their hatred of Donald Trump. And that's the best argument that's ever been made by anti-Trump Republicans, is that Donald Trump does unify the left, because he does. He unifies them with their hatred. But that's not an excuse. That's not an excuse. That's not his fault. In fact, that's more of a reason to support Trump, because he drives the left so crazy. And they're willing to do anything to keep him out of office. That's an exact reason why anyone that's not a crazy leftist should be supporting him, because they work so fucking hard to keep him out of office.
These locations, undefended essentially, we left them there as bait because so many people in Washington, D.C. want to go to war with Iran. They want to go to a war with Iran so badly that we will prop up the government of Iraq while the government...
I saw Space Case says the argument is that she's a psyop. Jeremy is arguing the wrong point. Whether it's effective or not is irrelevant to the point. Well, no, I mean, I've already said, like, I'm sure that they plan to use her. I just don't think it will have any influence, because they're willing to use anybody at their disposal. But anyway, we moved on from Taylor, so I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole again.
It's completely controlled by Iran. We spend billions of dollars every single year funding, arming, training, and equipping the Iraqi government so they can turn around and support the exact same militias that just killed our troops. Biden said it himself in his statement. He accused Iranian-backed militants operating in Iraq and Syria of conducting this attack that killed the 3 Americans and wounded nearly 30 more. That is nothing short of saying the Popular Mobilization Forces, which is part of the Iraqi military that we support. So if you look at just the full scope of the way that we have arranged ourselves in the Middle East, who we're supporting and where our troops are, there's no other logical conclusion other than the fact that we have left them there as bait to be killed by Iranians at the time and place of their choosing, so that we can continue to escalate towards a conflict with Iran. And like you said, there was a very coordinated series of talking points that came out almost immediately that we need to go and strike back against Iran. And look, we do need to strike back. We can't just let this go unanswered. But if we start taking strikes inside of Iran itself, that is exactly what the Iranian regime wants. They will benefit from that. If we start attacking Iran the way that we attacked Iraq, the way we attacked Afghanistan, then the Iranian government, the Iranian mullahs, the Ayatollah, the people will rally around them in support. We should be taking calculated strikes back at Iranian proxy groups for self-defense, and then we should immediately get our troops out of these foolish locations before we lose more blood and treasure for absolutely nothing in the Middle East, and before we're sucked further into a regional war.
Well, unfortunately, the people that are in power don't care about any of that. All they care about is keeping their power. And it really what, in my opinion, And obviously, I have nothing but great respect for the men and women of the military. The military people and their lives and their families and all of that, like, typically speaking, for a lot of these warmongers, most politicians, by the way, they're just chess pieces for politicians. That's all they are. Like, they're just chess pieces to move them into the positions they need to move them to get the results that they need to get. And again, I'm the only presidents that, like, the George W. Bush is the worst of my lifetime, which is what really turned me off from, like, the Republican Party. Because growing up, I was a Republican. And then, seeing what the Bush administration did after, again, unity is never anything that politicians are out to do, because ultimately the more unified the people are, the worse business is for politicians. So they need to keep people divided. They need to keep people angry. They need to keep the tensions high. So after 9/11, when you saw this ultimate unity from the country, it didn't take long for politicians to start creating nonsensical wars, no bid, contracts for Halliburton, shit like that. And I've talked about this many times. So when I was working for Bruno's company, a retail grocery store chain at the time, Food World. And I remember that I was, or was it, maybe I was a little past that. I can't remember. No, I was working for Winn-Dixie, I believe, at the time. Winn-Dixie. And I remember someone having a conversation with me about going to work for Halliburton and how much money. I had no experience. I had none. I had no experience. And it was like hundreds of thousands of dollars to go work for Halliburton. And you were protected because the military was the ones protecting you, and the military weren't even getting paid what I could have gotten paid by going to work for Halliburton. It was an insane amount of money. You had to commit for like X amount of years, or maybe it was a year contract or something like that. And I'm going, wait a minute. I am a nobody. And if I can go over to Iraq and make that type of money with literally no experience, this is where I started to kind of go, wait, what is going on here? If I can go over there and make hundreds of thousands of dollars, I think it was tax-free, if I'm remembering that correctly. I think it was tax-free. If I can make that kind of money, what are the people in power making? And that's where I realized war is only business. That's all it is. It's big business. That's all it is. It's all it is. War is for big business. That's it. Because at the end of the day, and President Trump showed us this, if the President of the United States of America wants to keep our country out of conflict, he can. And he will, if he truly wants to do that. And that's the difference in Trump and everybody else that's been in power, is he wanted to keep us out of it. They want to keep us in it because there's so much invested in for them. Money, power, relationships, helping other countries take over areas that they're trying to key in on. It's absolute nonsense. Continuing on right here, though.
So if we could just go back to something you said at the beginning, which I think is demonstrably true, that American policymakers have left American citizens in these countries in order to be killed so they can justify killing more American citizens in a broader war against a very well-armed country, Iran. If that is true, that's evil. That's a crime. And by the way, I should say, because you almost never say it, that your wife was killed in one of those countries as one of those people. You ran for Congress. You almost never mentioned it. Perhaps it's too painful, and I'm sorry to bring it up now. But, I mean, you have lived this. So how is that not a crime?
It's 100% a crime, Tucker. Look, I lost my wife a month after Trump gave the order for our troops to be withdrawn from Syria because Trump ran on defeating the Islamic Caliphate, ISIS, and that needed to be done. Unfortunately, ISIS was a byproduct of the Iraq war, the invasion, and all the blunders that we made there, but Trump inherited that problem. We had to deal with it. We had to go take out the caliphate. We did that in very short order. Trump gave the order to withdraw, and that's when the DC war machine, which unfortunately is controlled by Republicans and Democrats and
Yes.
even more powerful unelected bureaucrats turned against Trump to leave our troops there. And she was killed. And a lot of the justification for leaving our troops in Syria and in Iraq has been to prevent so-called Iranian influence, malign Iranian influence, to counter Russia. And that is nothing more than us baiting a trap for ourselves to get our troops killed, to encourage and then really to justify a further war against Iran. It's absolute insanity. And we have to ask ourselves as American citizens, what do we gain from this? If we're going to deploy our troops and we're going to lose our best and our brightest, and we're going to spend trillions of dollars, what do we, the American people, gain? At the same time, we just lost 3 Americans defending the Jordanian-Syrian border. Our border is wide open. Fentanyl's killing over 118,000 of our citizens. 10 million illegal invaders have come into our country. So where are the priorities of our ruling class? And I think it's absolutely evil. I think it's completely and totally treasonous. And we need to get these people out of office as soon as possible.
Well, it's also there's something bigger, it seems to me.
And I am now more convinced. I'm convinced now more than ever, and a lot of you helped convince me of this. I can't. I wish I remembered names, but there's no way I can remember because we've had this discussion multiple times now. But I'm convinced now that Tucker Carlson is far more influential in the position he's in than to be Trump's VP. We need Tucker Carlson right where he's at. And especially under a Trump administration, we need Tucker Carlson in the exact position he's in because he's way too important right here, right now. So I've completely kind of flipped my position on that the more and more I've thought about it. Him being the #1 independent voice in all of media is vital to what Trump needs to accomplish. And that's a position that, like, there's no one else that can take the reins from Tucker. There's no one else that can do what he does. It just can't happen. So he needs to stay right there.
I have no evidence, but just watching, there's like a spirit of insanity or delusion that's descended on Washington. It's almost like ergotism or something you read about in the Middle Ages where the whole village goes crazy and commits cannibalism. I mean, here you have, for just one example, John Cornyn, who's a senator from Texas, whose state is being invaded by millions of people. You can't get your child into the NICU in Texas hospitals. You can't use the emergency room in Texas hospitals because they're full of people breaking our laws from foreign countries. So Texas is collapsing under the weight of this. And John Cornyn's entire day is spent worrying about the territorial integrity of foreign countries. Like, how do you explain that? It can't just be payoffs from Lockheed, or maybe it is. I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, I think a lot of it is this deeply entrenched mentality in Washington, D.C., which most certainly has financial interests assigned to it. However, I do think there is a lot of people, and a lot of them, like you pointed out, like Nancy Pelosi, are in their 80s, and they've always thought this way, this with us or against us mentality that says, like, hey, you're either for the next war, the most current war and the current thing, or you're with the terrorists. You just are kowtowing to Vladimir Putin. It's the exact same mentality that got us into the Iraq war. You're either with us or you're with the terrorists. And look, Tucker, I would love to come on here and defend neoconservatism as someone who lost my late wife in these wars, as somebody who lost countless friends, as somebody who fought myself 11 combat deployments. I spent most of my 20s and 30s in Iraq. I would love to tell you it had worked, but it simply did not. And that's a very hard thing to admit. I get into arguments all the time with fellow veterans about this exact same topic. So I think a lot of this is literally the gambler's fallacy. There's a lot of people who think, hey, if we just keep trying, if we keep attempting to spread freedom through the barrel of a gun and trillions of US dollars, this time it's going to work. Let's just double down. And this is, well, how really nice casinos are built in Las Vegas off of this exact same mentality. So I think that combined with the financial interest from Lockheed Martin and every single defense contractor, and putting someone like Lloyd Austin as the Secretary of Defense, who's still on the board at Raytheon, I think that factor with that mentality and people not being able to admit that we got this wrong and then making adjustments to our policy, I think that gets us in this current situation, because it's actually challenging to thread the needle. Like, where do we go from here? We can't just let the Iranians attack and kill our people.
Right.
But at the same time, we know if we go to war with Iran, this is going to be a disaster. There's no data that says, like, hey, maybe if we just go to a war with Iran this time, it's going to work out great. We've actually got to assess the past mistakes that we made, make adjustments, and then chart a more pragmatic way forward. But at the same time,
but see, unfortunately, none of that matters right now. None of that matters because ultimately, we just have to accept that elections matter. Stolen elections matter, as for to be a little more clear, and now they have consequences, and we cannot stop whatever the agenda is up until November. Like, we are where we are, and they're going to do whatever they're going to do to try and derail the momentum right now. The MAGA momentum is unstoppable. MAGA momentum is unstoppable right now, at least perceived to be unstoppable. Biden's losing in every major swing state. Trump is crushing him across the board, and they know that. Don't think for 1 second that the people that are controlling the Biden White House, which is not Joe Biden, don't think for a second they aren't well aware of this, and they are doing everything in their power to switch the narrative. And if I'm thinking as crazy as I can, but also as realistically as I can, the only realistic thing they can do is World War III. That's the only realistic, crazy scenario they can pull off, because they already blew their load with COVID. You can't do COVID again. You can't do another lockdown. At least I don't think. Maybe I'm naive on that one too, but again, I have to believe people aren't dumb enough to put... I know some people are. I still see them walking around here in Florida. I was in the mall the other day. I saw a dude, had to be 25 years old, walking in the mall with either his wife or girlfriend. She didn't have a mask on. He's just healthy as could be, walking around with a fucking mask. And I'm like, God, you're so stupid. Maybe that's the type of person that Taylor Swift can influence.
Not lose sight of what's happening in our own country. I don't go anywhere in my district in Washington State without someone telling me a personal story about how the fentanyl crisis has affected them, how the wide open southern border is literally killing members of their family. So we need to prioritize. This whole idea that we can be at war with the entire world is absolutely absurd, while at the same time not prioritizing our own nation. We've got to get our priorities in order.
I've always wondered how someone like you must feel, who, as you just said, spent a good part of your life on 11 combat deployments and lost your own wife in these wars, when you're denounced as a tool of Vladimir Putin, or in the last race you ran, neocons subverted your message by claiming you were a CIA operative when you were arguing against the CIA's paramilitary involvement in these countries. I mean, the whole thing was so dishonest. But how does it make you feel? I don't think you need to prove your loyalty to this country. You already have. To be denounced in public as a traitor to your country.
You know, when it happens the first, somewhere around the first 10 to 100 times, it hurts and it makes you really mad. And then you get in this effort to prove why you're not what they say you are. I'm not a Nazi because, I'm not a Vladimir Putin puppet because. But then, you know what, actually, or somewhere around the 101st time and the 1000th time, you can only laugh at it because it's so preposterous. The people that are arguing that we should forfeit our own territorial integrity for the territorial integrity of, I don't know, Ukraine or the Jordanian border, those are the people that will call us traitors, especially when the vast majority of them arguing for this have never had any skin in the game. As a matter of fact, I think the vast majority of them don't know anyone personally who went over and fought these wars. So there's something liberating in being called that repeatedly over and over again, because then you can truly see things for the way that they are, that this is literally just propaganda to attempt to intimidate people, to shut them up. And I'm glad that you're doing what you're doing, and you give us a platform where we can actually speak truth to power and show people what's actually happening in this country and how our foreign policy establishment is absolutely just really destroying the United States of America. They're attempting to make us sacrifice our republic for an empire that does nothing for the American people.
Amen. So nicely put. And I would recommend, the famous Eisenhower speech at the end of his term around 1960. Or 61, the military-industrial complex, which is worth watching. So let me just ask you one last question, because he called it 60 years ago. You referred to what a war with Iran would do to the United States, and I don't know that a lot of people in this country fully understand what Iran is as a nation state. It's not Afghanistan. What do you think the immediate and then longer term effects of a war with Iran would be on the United States?
Immediately, it would be very bloody. I have no doubt that we could probably defeat some of their air defense and go in there and have another shock and awe campaign. But again, like we saw how the shock and awe campaign in Iraq really didn't actually work in the long run.
Yep, it's
so
not.
I have no doubt that we'd have some immediate results that people would cheer about here in the United States. But Iran, Persia, has always been an empire. It's been around longer than any of the other players in the modern Middle East right now, and they are not going anywhere. And right now, Iran has a lot of internal problem. They have a lot of internal strife with the Ayatollah and that government that's only been in power since 1979. But again, if we start conducting strikes in Iran, everyone in Iran will rally around their leader and they will become even more revolutionary. And then we will have Iranian proxies throughout the entire region that will be conducting attacks just like we had in Jordan. And really in the long term, Tucker, the axis that has been built really since Putin invaded Russia and we decided that since Putin invaded Ukraine and we decided we were going to throw this massive sanctions package at them, China has come in as a major player, and we are deeply compromised by China. They control a lot of our economy. They control global manufacturing. They're deeply embedded in Wall Street, and they've also made deals with the Iranians. They want access to Iranian petro, not to mention the fact that Biden killed off U.S. energy independence, and now he's going after...
Have a good night, Dom. See you later, buddy. Thank you for the gift of memberships.
LNG, and the world's biggest LNG exporters are Iran, Russia, and Qatar. So this axis would become very powerful. If we get deeply involved and deeply entangled with Iran, we are playing right into China's hands, because China would like nothing more than for us to be committing our military industrial base to a war in Eastern Europe, in Ukraine, and then to be committing our conventional military power, our blood and our treasure, back in the Middle East. That will make the Pacific, our actual border, extremely vulnerable to Chinese aggression. Or China will simply just watch us bleed out economically as we bleed out on the battlefield on these couple different theaters. It's absolute insanity. It's opening up Pandora's box. And again, for what gain to the American people?
It's not to, and Joe Kent's awesome, by the way. So I know a few people are asking who that was. That's Joe Kent. But it's not to benefit the American people. It's to benefit the people that are in power that want to stay in power. And that's really what this comes down to. So good discussion from Tucker right there. I see JB24 says, I could be wrong, but I think the first mention of importance of Tucker's media network when discussing VP, I know others, let's see. I think I was the first to mention the importance in the super chat as well. Just need to think I helped influence you. Well, absolutely. And each and every one of you, like, obviously you saw the stuff that Hayden was saying earlier. Like, I'm what I'm going to do because of things that we have back and forth, whether it's in regular chat, super chat, whatever. Like, I don't know everything. I don't know much of anything. I'm just a retarded guy who speaks my mind and gives my opinions. Luckily, a few people like to watch, but I'm always willing to learn and hear a different perspective. The Taylor Swift thing just might be something that I'm just not, knowledgeable of. And so, yeah, I mean, I will definitely be looking further into that just because of the stuff that Hayden's been saying. But with the Tucker Carlson thing, I mean, yeah, I mean, I was a little like, my sole focus is obviously President Trump getting back in office, but it's like tunnel vision, sometimes you get tunnel vision. And so when I was thinking about that, I'm like, well, if Tucker is going to be considered for VP, then that needs to be it. But then people started to say, well, what about how big he is on, his new platform, and he's building up his network and all of that. And so I was like, yeah, I was thinking, you know what, if Trump is in office, having a powerful media voice like Tucker Carlson, who can't be replaced, might actually be more important than him being in the VP position. So there you go. Am I 100% Vivek? No, I'm not 100% Vivek for VP. I'm far more interested in Vivek for VP than I was previously. I would say he's my favorite. I think Kari Lake obviously needs to be in the Senate, and I think that's where the perspective starts to come into play. Like, Kari Lake in the Senate, very valuable to President Trump. Tucker Carlson being the most powerful and influential voice in all of independent media, Far more beneficial to President Trump to have him in that position, and not just for President Trump, but just for overall, like for the American people, for the information war that we're in. Tucker being in that position, obviously Elon doing what he's doing on Twitter. By the way, yeah, I did see this thing where, honestly, it kind of pisses me off with that whole, like, I guess Taylor Swift's name has been erased from the search results on Twitter. Man, when I saw that, I was like, I'm paying them all this money for this damn gold check mark for Geeks and Gamers. I mean, if y'all are going to pull that type of crap, maybe I'll just go back to my blue check mark for Geeks and Gamers, because that's some bullshit right there. That is some bullshit. I couldn't believe that. I couldn't believe that when I saw that. But I do have this clip right here that's going around that everybody's sharing. So I haven't seen it, so I'm watching this for the first time. So I guess Joy Reid got caught on a hot mic. I'm listening to this for the first time. Here we go. God, she's ugly as hell, bro. Like, that is one ugly human being. Holy crap. Like, holy crap. Anyway, let's listen to this.
Over the weekend, President Biden said he's ready to take action if Congress is serious about solving the border issue.
If that bill were the law today, I'd shut down the border right now and fix it quickly. And Congress needs to get it done.
Starting another fucking war. Still trying to.
See, you fucking bitch, you know he's a warmonger too, and you're okay with it as long as Orange Man Bad. As long as Orange Man Bad doesn't return. What is it, that meme where it's got the soldier with the boot on the neck, and it's like, at least it's not Trump. Holy crap, man. Even they know. This needs to be a thumbnail right here. This needs to be a thumbnail. That is brutal. That is nightmare fuel right there, man. Holy crap. Play it again. Here we go.
Over the weekend, President Biden said he's ready to take action if Congress is serious about solving the border issue.
If that bill were the law today, I'd shut down the border right now and fix it quickly. And Congress needs to get it done.
Starting another fucking war. Still trying to kill the deal. Over the weekend, President Biden said
hot mic. Joy Reid was caught complaining about Joe Biden starting another fucking war during a clip on air tonight. So there you go. Right there. God, they're horrible, man. They're horrible people. Media's terrible. Lord Botha for 20 says, problem is she told Soros family to go screw themselves and abandoned her old songs and made entirely new music to be free of them. My wife grew up as an OG Swiftie, and I've had to hear the story. She's not just a lib. She's just a lib, not an op. Yeah, I imagine a lot of these super chats are going to be Taylor Swift related. JM Elliott says, Jeremy, I mean Nancy, you're bringing a fig. Get. Hayden Wayne for 20 says, women who wouldn't vote will now, and they will tell their husbands, boyfriends to vote the way Swift wants them to. There are men who will. It's not swaying away from MAGA. It's getting other people to vote who wouldn't. I hope the hell you guys are wrong, man. I really do. Phoebe 1999 says it doesn't matter how much influence she has, but how much the CIA thinks she has. And then Hayden says, Jeremy, she doesn't have a YouTube. She's that big. She doesn't need to regularly upload anything. She says something, her cult moves. She's on radio and has a massive concerts. That's the platform. She's Dazzler, maybe. Yeah, I guess I'm just completely out of touch with this whole Taylor Swift. What's up? Is that Carolyn? Carolyn, who's I was just talking to earlier. We're getting all that planned out for MegaCon. Is anyone in the chat going to be hanging out at MegaCon with us? The RSVP link, if you go to geeksgamers.com, that article about the MegaCon meetup and everything has the RSVP link for the meetup on Saturday night. So make sure you have RSVP'd if you are interested in coming and hanging out with us at City Walk. Hayden Wayne says, I hate Pelosi. In the Snake Pit Discord, I'm going to upload a picture of the replica of the pin she used when signing Trump's impeachment papers that has a special message on it. I bought like 10 of these pins, laughing my ass off. Dude, Nancy Pelosi, like, she is such an evil, 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 evil person. She is truly evil, like to another level of evil. It really is wild. And Jay Schwalbach for 25 on Rumble. Are you saying end of season Kelsey announces retirement, comes out as gay, and he and Taylor are just girlfriends, close girlfriends? I knew you were the puppet master, but you should do this. I do think that they probably break up at the end of the year. I truly do not believe it's a real relationship. It's way too forced, and there's way too many conveniences. And like I said, the NFL, like the Kansas City Chiefs being in the Super Bowl is not that surprising considering Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid are the coach and the quarterback. The convenience is that she's connected to them, and that's where I think that the rigging has taken place right there, is having her connected to someone on the Chiefs. That's where I'll go with that. Schwalbach says, Taylor moved to New York. She was surrounded by TDS, New York elites, and wanted to fit in. She was never given the true story, and she makes so much money that she doesn't understand that the $1 billion she just made. Yeah, I mean, it's so weird because like when Taylor Swift, when I was aware of her music when she was making country, that was also like Carrie Underwood was also like a really big at that point in time. The fact that Taylor Swift is a bigger star than Carrie Underwood truly blows my mind, because Carrie Underwood is literally better at everything than Taylor Swift. Like, she's better in every aspect of life. Her looks, her voice, her songs. Carrie Underwood is so much better at literally everything. And yet Taylor Swift is a 10 times bigger star, which is just crazy to me. It just shows you it ain't about skill or talent at that point. Let's see. Jay Schwalbach, 25 on Rumble, says this year will only net her 1/3 of that, $350 million. She needs to hang with Cardi B. She looks at her taxes and is pissed. Taylor would go Trump if she knew. If only she knew. If only she knew. Oh, man. Dara Moof and Blind Lawyers over there on Rumble. Lighting it up on Rumble. And we have 330 people on Rumble. Willie Will for 20 gifted memberships. Let's go, Willie Will in the house. Hayden Wayne for 50 says Donald Trump, grandson of an immigrant, was a Democrat most of his life, independently wealthy, smooth talker, loves his country. Vivek, son of an immigrant, was a Democrat most of his life, independently wealthy, smooth talker, loves his country. I don't know. I mean, so the thing about Vivek is I watched him on The Breakfast Club, and that was a chore because I think that Charlemagne is one of the stupidest people on the planet. And like, Vivek was fantastic on there. And while I'm not gonna, we're not going to go through that video clip, but like the actual, like, just the video, if you look at the, everything else, if you look at the comment section, it's glorious. Just look at the comment section here. Okay. The fact now, okay, so let me paint the picture here. So Charlemagne is this guy right here, Charlemagne the God. Okay, Charlemagne is an idiot. He's one of the dumbest people in all of media. This dude is absolutely retarded. All right, like I remember there was one point in the conversation where him and Vivek were talking about January 6th, and Vivek was like, Trump literally called for a peaceful protest, and Charlemagne's like, he didn't call for peaceful protest. He called for them to make noise and rise up and be angry. I'm like, he literally said a peaceful protest on January 6th. Those words, peaceful protest, he said it multiple times. So anyway, The comment section of now Breakfast Club has 5.43 million subscribers. This video has 400,000 views. If you watch it in its entirety, Vivek is fantastic. All right, he is awesome in this interview. I know there was the one part where he was talking about pregnancy and abortion and all that, and that's fine to have that criticism. But like, if you watch the whole thing, he was so on point. But the comment section, the fact that the Breakfast Club is the leading voice for Black Americans is horrifyingly disturbing. Sad state of affairs. Holy shit. That's so accurate, dude. That is so accurate. Charlemagne is a perfect example of the people who keep voting for our country to the ground. Vivek deserves an award for being so patient speaking with someone like Charlemagne. It's like talking to an ignorant teenager who thinks they know it all. Holy crap. Oh, man. And then let's see. Quote, how can you care about the country if you support Trump, though? After Vivek just sat down with you guys and gave you his time to educate y'all, and y'all still don't get it. Vivek is the next generation's voice. This Vivek guy is really impressive, so thoughtful. I didn't vote for Trump in 2016 or 2020, but I think this time I will go with him. And hopefully this Vivek guy will have his ear a lot. There you go. The fact that Charlemagne is considered a serious political voice and an intellectual contender for Black people and younger audiences is petrifying to me. He's getting absolutely annihilated, dude. Like, he's getting crushed. This is so funny. Holy crap, man. But yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff indeed. But yeah, if you just go through that comment section, it is awesome. I loved it. And Vivek did a great job, man. So I like Vivek a lot, man. I really do. I like him a lot. He's saying all the right things. He's hanging out there with Trump. They're getting the word out. And it seems like he's going to be a strong ally for President Trump. So I'm very happy about that. Very, very happy about that. Minty says, I have heard secondhand tales of how psychotic Taylor Swift is behind the scenes, security and staff NDAs to keep it all hidden, and a heavily manicured public image, narcissist and control freak. Yeah, man. And that's another funny story. Like, and I want to be clear. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with NDAs, because truthfully, it's almost been a negative for me, and it probably, the more that Geeks and Gamers grows, I'm probably going to have to embrace it at some point. But for all the stuff that people say about me online, all the rumors about how I have this, or I'm doing this, or I'm controlling that, or I have literally never had any person sign an NDA that's involved with me on Geeks and Gamers. Nobody has ever signed it. Anybody that's ever worked for me, they can say anything they want about me. I have no agreements in place for anybody. They can say anything about me that's ever happened. I have no legal control over anything. And that just shows how much I have nothing to hide. I have absolutely nothing to hide. And you have all these people online that try to say all this stuff like, oh, well, Jeremy does this, or he controls that, or he does this, or, they're doing this, or they're protecting that, or, I got these fucking weirdos saying all this shit about what happened with the Reddit, fan community and how all this stuff. And it's like, it's just so nonsensical, man. Now, again, at some point in time, I'm going to probably have to start implementing the NDAs, but it's not a road I want to go down. But it's almost like as you get a bigger following and there's more money involved and there's more deals being made and all of that, it's almost like you have to. You know what I mean? It just sucks. It sucks, and I don't like it. I almost just kind of want to go back to just being me on a YouTube channel and just talking and not have to worry about all the business bullshit that comes with this. It's just it's almost frustrating that we're at that level, and we probably are well past that level. We probably should have already been in place, but I fucking hate it, man. I hate how serious this shit's gotten. Charles W. Jansen II. Screw Taylor. When celebs speak the opposite, they say is true. I'll stick with Japanese bands like Love Bites, band made Nemophilia, Fate Gear, and Unlucky Morpheus. I had to be a little careful there. Let's see. Terrible T says, surprised you haven't implemented NDAs at this point. I mean, I probably should have. So, but no, not at this point. I know. I'm just controlling everything behind the scenes, everyone. It's all being controlled by me. Ministry of Wrongthink. The goal of a Swiftie PSYOP isn't to win over Trump supporters and independents. It's to win back apathetic black Democrat voters and other leftists who are aware how shit Biden is. Yeah, that makes sense. Darth Racer says, The Rock and Snoop now support Trump. Checkmate, LOL. Yeah, I obviously heard about Snoop Dogg. I guess Snoop Dogg is like supporting Trump now. Forgive me if I don't buy into that one. I just don't. I remember a few years ago, 50 Cent said something positive about Trump, and then he got a shit ton of backlash, and then he backed off of it immediately. So I can't really I don't believe Snoop Dogg will stay the course on that. I think he will back down immediately. I don't trust Snoop Dogg at all. And The Rock, I absolutely don't trust The Rock. The Rock, there's so many different perspectives to talk about The Rock. As a professional wrestling fan, he's one of the greatest of all time. His in-ring ability is pretty good. His mic skills are as good as anyone's, and he's a megastar. He's a fantastic, iconic professional wrestler. As an actor, I genuinely have enjoyed some of his movies. The Rundown might be my favorite Rock movie ever. I don't know if many of you have seen The Rundown. That was a long time ago. The Rundown, and it had Stifler in it, Sean William Scott. I love that movie. That is a phenomenal movie for anyone that has seen The Rundown. Great movie. As an actor, he's been pretty good overall. I don't think he's the megastar that he's perceived to be, but he's definitely a big star. As a person, absolute piece of shit. Absolute garbage human being. The whole thing with Oprah and his endorsement of Biden in 2020. And just the fact that he's just bitch made. You know what I mean? Like, I'm no fan of Logan Paul. But have you heard the story about like what he did to Logan Paul? He basically, so him and Logan Paul were, I would say, acquaintances, and they did a lot of videos together back when Logan Paul was blowing up, and they had a lot of viral videos. They did a bunch of videos together, and they were cool. And then Logan Paul went through his whole controversy with the forest and everything like that, and The Rock basically shunned him at that point in time. And did it through a publicist. So he couldn't even say it to Logan Paul like man to man. He had his publicist reach out to Logan Paul and say, "Hey, Rock can't be affiliated with you anymore, and you need to delete all the videos that you guys have done together." And then I guess after, this is according to Logan Paul, after Logan kind of had his redemption arc and kind of came full circle, he said The Rock just shot him a random DM one day like nothing had happened. Like, "Hey, bro, what's up, man?" And Logan said he never responded because he felt hurt by it. And it's like, that's the type of person The Rock is, though. You know what I mean? Like, it's all about his image and all this other shit like that. Like, I think he is about as fake as you could possibly be. I think The Rock is a very, very, very fake person. So yeah, his newfound support of Donald Trump, I don't buy it either. I think what it comes down to is, and I don't know the specifics, but he's involved with the TKO group now, which are they're all intertwined with like WWE and UFC, and The Rock knows that Trump is, not only is he connected to the UFC, but he's the rock star of the UFC whenever he shows up. Even Joe Rogan has said it. When Trump walks out to a UFC event, there ain't nobody that gets to cheers for Trump. And so now with The Rock being involved with that and being on the WWE board of directors, The Rock is playing politics is what he's doing, because he doesn't believe in anything that he fucking says. He's a piece of shit. He's a manipulative piece of shit. And he, not only did he endorse Biden and Harris in 2020, he went out of his way to do it. Like, he He was all in. It's like, how about answer for that shit now, Rock? How about answer for it now? So yeah, he's garbage. He's garbage. Leonardo DiCaprio for 20 says, love your channel. I currently serve and World War III won't happen. The world is too globalist, too connected to get into an actual war with actual stakes. But Democrats do play dirty and they would start a war to keep Trump out. Well, I really, like I said, I don't know how you define what World War III can be. I don't know what the specifics are to that, but what I do believe is that the media is going to present whatever they can as World War III because optically that is a good play for them and it's a bad play for Trump. It's a good play to keep Biden or the Democrats in power, and the normies will definitely react to anything that resembles World War III. You know what I mean? So, but I hear you on your other points for sure. JM Elliott says, ditto Hayden. She has the normies. That's all the influence you need. Talking about Swifty. Hayden says, chat going to be mad, but Vivek's take on child support is almost correct. Stop getting women pregnant unless you're committed. 100% for divorce is a bit far, but that's your kid and you're supposed to be married. It's based. Yeah, I mean, overall, there's like Vivek is a smart guy, man. Like, it can't be denied. He is a smart dude, all right? 100% smart guy. Very intelligent, extremely intelligent, as a matter of fact. And so, I mean, he's got some valid points. The problem. Here's the thing about anything that has to do with that stuff. There's no winning argument, man. There's no winning argument. None whatsoever from that particular topic. And that's the problem with it. When you start talking about that topic, yeah, you're opening yourself up to a lot of serious issues. Let me see here. Let me try to do this one. All right. Man, we still got 2,800 people here, and you know the new threshold is 2,000 likes, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, the new threshold is 2,000 likes. Will we be able to reach it? I don't know, but I'm ready to find out. And also, I know many of you have asked, yes, there will be a Fortnite stream tonight. I look, it's going to be a rough week for us. Many people have asked, like, hey, what's going on with, Monday Night Mario Kart? Really, this is a crazy week for us because of MegaCon. So, main event's not going to be happening tomorrow in its normal capacity. Geeks and Gamers Daily will continue on. Friday Night Tights is actually going to be Friday morning tights. So, like, we're going to be doing that at, like, 11 Central because of MegaCon, because we have a lot going on. So, everything's just kind of out of whack right now. I'm in Pensacola right now. Tending to some family business, and but we will run some Fortnite tonight over on D-Day Cobra 199, so keep that in mind. Let's see here. Rye the Guy says, if you read 1984, the point is to always be at war. War covers up crimes and distracts the public from criticizing the government. It's a tactic to use misdirection to maintain power and control. Absolutely. Wolverine Schnick says, yep, as a DoD contractor for a certain three-letter agency, our main focus is the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. LM is selling the U.S. down the river. What's up, brother? And I think you became a member as well, which you're always... I don't know if you're re-upping when that happens or what. Vic Whiplash for $10 says, my brother was in Desert Shield and Desert Storm as a Ranger Pathfinder, then went back as contractor for many years, made serious money. 100%. Jake for 10 says, Jon Stewart is getting back to the Daily Show. Ironic, he is coming back to the news sphere where Tucker is on top long after the Crossfire ambush. Don't think Stewart will command the same audience now. I don't think so either. I don't think Jon Stewart has anywhere near the level of like play or influence that he thinks he has. I don't think it's even close. Back in the day, Jon Stewart had a shit ton of influence. I don't see it now. I don't see it at all. And I guess we'll just have to... When is that supposed to happen, by the way? When is he actually supposed to take over? And I got to think that that's a play to again, man, the power of Trump, man. All hands are on deck. Everything now. They are trying everything. They're going to start war. They're going to work the Taylor Swift angle. They're getting Jon Stewart. They're rolling him back out. And this is, we're just in January. We're just in January. And we're already seeing this. 2024. Honestly, 2024 is already crazier than I thought it would be. And we're only in January. This is crazy, man. Absolutely insane. Lord Pterodax says, I really hope this election year isn't as bad as the last one. Wish the best for all. Hail the 199 and the snake pit. Thank you, Lord Pterodax. David Smart says, Jeremy, why people still like Biden? Everything is ruined. My 401k is ruined. My city is destroyed. And even my wife still likes Biden. Shaking my head. Yeah, I don't know how, like, again, it's people that just aren't paying attention, and they want to keep their heads in the sand. And then they have just this hatred of Trump. They just despise Donald Trump because so many people have been told to. Eric K says, Jeremy does not keep up with the current music. Village people do not tour anymore. Diz the Jizzbot, voting for Biden, say you're brain dead with admitting it. Yeah, absolutely. We got The Blind Lawyer on Rumble, liked on YouTube and Rumble. Also, Jeremy is a great fisherman. He is a master baiter, best known for catfishing. Vault 95 says, came over here to a real man's IRL show because was tired of Beanie Boy spending the last hour on Taylor Swift. Well, I spent an hour on Taylor Swift here, Vault 95. 2 weeks ago, Jack Posobiec said World War III was going to be the October surprise. That's probably a better time for it. Poor Vault 95 says, I left Beanie Boy because he was talking too much Taylor Swift. I spent an hour talking about Taylor Swift. You probably hate me now. Blind Lawyer says, there will be no rally around the flag for Biden. Even if World War III, he will be dropped faster than Christie drops a plate of salad. Blind Lawyer says, Taylor Swift has the best candidates she endorsed lose, especially South American Trump. Also, we don't respect talent. We watch CobraCast. That is true. That is true. Lone Wolf says, Alex Jones knows all about it. All goes back to MK Ultra. Blind Lawyer says, Obama was the last president to win on cultural grounds. Media and Hollywood made Obama, but Trump now bigger than both media and Obama. It says, as Trump goes up, celebrity power goes down. Look at even Disney has gone down. It is the new world. Vault 95 says, Jeremy, we're approaching the 1-year anniversary when Beanie Boy told his audience to go fuck themselves because his audience didn't like getting shut out of the chat. The genesis of CobraCast 199. Yeah, man, you guys got to, like, Eric and, Eric and Jed and Hailstorm, you guys got to keep me reminded, all right? That we've got to do like a celebration on the 1-year anniversary of CobraCast. I think it's in February or March. Swig of water for the working man. Hailstorm says, I've said Taylor Swift 57 or 53 times this stream. I don't want to live in a world where I say her name that many times in any stream ever again in my life. Okay? Can we turn her into Voldemort and just never say her name again? Can we just never say that name ever again? Like that's bad. February 10th. Wow. February 10th. So February 10th, which is I know I've looked it up before, but calendar February 10th is a Saturday. So that means we're going to get a special edition CobraCast IRL celebration on February 10th. Mark your calendars. Yep. And yeah, I will call it CobraCast IRL for that one, and that's it. I won't do it again. Because at the end of the day, that is Tim's thing. I respect that. I was memeing on it, but it's his thing, man. I don't want to take, like, that's his time. And plus, it's in real life. Like, it fits his show. You know what I mean? So, but we'll do it that one time, and that's it. So, Blind Lawyer says Snoop rocking with Trump. Blacks breaking MAGA. Taylor can't touch that. Blind Lawyer says Swift has the international influence and young females, not a huge voting block for conservatives. NFL Super Bowl might have pride event. Look it up. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Let me see. Wisdom Prevails for 5 says they could be using folks like Taylor Swift to start early with folks that are soon to be eligible to vote. Playing the long game? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. PJ says celebrities have a right to their opinions. We have a right to ignore them, and that goes for all topics and all political leanings. Of course, memeing them into oblivion is hard to resist. Absolutely. Schwalbach says, this is the link to Cardi B's. Let's see. I can't read it because you got, Jed, move that cursor or whatever that you got there. This is the link to Cardi B's tax rant. It's safe, except naughty words. Honestly, I'm going to be honest. If I see Cardi B walking down the street, I have no idea what she looks like. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I know nothing of Cardi B. I don't know anything about her. The Blind Lawyer says, clip this NFL will have Pride Night as part of Super Bowl festivities, which is during Black History Month. Dara Muth says, Jeremy, Rick of Rumble has stated there will be more things from Rumble memberships coming this year, so keep your eyes peeled, everyone. Absolutely. Got that one. Blind Lawyer says, clip this. NFL will have Pride Night as part of Super Bowl festivities, which is during... Oh, I got that. Also, Jeremy is not a drama queen, just a queen. Darmove says, Jeremy, Google has more influence than Taylor Swift, and a majority of people use Google's free stuff. Yeah, I mean, Google definitely has influence. No doubt about that. PJ says, speaking of music, I know you're not a Ben Shapiro fan, but him rapping in Tom's new song is an epic troll. I am here for it. I talked about the Ben Shapiro rap. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of Ben Shapiro anymore these days. And with Tom McDonald, like, Tom McDonald's music's fine. It's okay. But I think that was a brilliant move, what he and Tom McDonald did. I thought it was genius. And he leaned into it. Ben Shapiro leaned into the meme, which is all you got to do, man. Self-awareness. Lean into it. Laugh at yourself. Have some self-awareness. And I think he did a pretty good job of that. And it's had a good cultural impact. And now apparently Benny Johnson is challenging him. I saw that over on Twitter. Benny Johnson is now coming after Ben Shapiro here, which, again, I think is a brilliant move. Right here. Here's Benny. Bam. I'm coming for you, Ben Shapiro. And there's Benny in the studio. Let's go, Benny. That's awesome, man. So, yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to see what Benny is working up. It's going to be fantastic. So, there we go. Oh, is that Trump's cousin, Trump's nephew? Yeah, I know him. That's gonna be great, man. So we'll see. We'll see what Benny has. We'll see what Benny has planned. Ain't no telling, man. Ain't no telling. Lone Wolf says, all I know is that the U.S. gets into a major conflict, China will invade Taiwan. PJ says, I can't make MegaCon, but I am going to Vegas in April. Would like more details on that once Florida event is done. Absolutely. We'll have all the details. That's more of a Gary event. Orlando's more of a Geeks and Gamers event. So, we will see. Mighty Snipes just subscribed on Kick. Thank you. Thank you guys so much. Doug B dropped 100 gifted memberships on Kick last stream. Insane. Alpha Zero Omega says, to me, not implementing NDAs tells me you don't worry about what you do or say behind the scenes and the judgment you have in people you take on board with Geeks and Gamers. Mad respect. I appreciate it. I do think that it's been okay, but it's probably something that's I'm gonna have to change that at some point. But the reason I say it's just for all the people that fucking hate me, that say all this horrible shit about me and say like that I'm up to this or I'm up to that, and it's like, Look, man, I don't roll like that. I don't have anything to hide. Ben Rap Hero gifted a D-Day Cobra membership. Thank you. Eric says Jeremy sings "Shake It Off" in the car. Krista and Jay told me. Well, they don't have any credibility, so. Diz to Jizzbot, welcome to the Snake Pit. Thank you. Liam 501st says, Hail Jeremy and the 199. Been watching since February 2018 and loved watching the channel grow and evolve. Hope to meet you and the Geeks and Gamers FNT eventually. Hey, man. Right back at you. 2018. It's incredible. Lying Dog Face Pony Soldier gifted a D-Day Cobra membership. Thank you. Hayden Wayne for 10 says, wait, how are you not looking at reality and showing your wife what's happening? As a husband, you are supposed to help, guide, and lead. Show her the issues and source. I'll take any heat for this. And that was in reference to a previous super chat from David, who said, Jeremy, why are people still like Biden? Everything is ruined. My 401k is ruined. My city is destroyed, and even my wife still likes Biden. Yeah, I mean, to that point, I mean, obviously, I'm not in the business of telling anybody that anybody how to live their life. But if you're asking, which you are, Hayden's points are 1,000% valid. Like, if you're watching me, then you clearly know how severe the situation is. And you're stating it there. And I would say, dude, you're married to your wife, and if she's that lost with the Biden side of things, I think you got to take some initiative on that one. But that would be my recommendation. So thank you, Hayden. Cellular Dream says, I think Kelsey is a secret gay. Big Mike says, Jeremy definitely knows Taylor Swift songs. Laughing my ass off. I know the country ones. Lord Bothus says, Benny, it's MK Swifties. Just That Clown says, Taylor Swift isn't the only one. Look up Paramore. Now, Paramore, I'm aware of they had a really, their one album. God, what is the lead singer's name? I know it. Somebody's going to say it in the chat. Lead singer's name of Paramore. What's her name? I'm waiting. That one album, though, is phenomenal. Hayley Williams. Yes, Hayley Williams. I don't know what's going on with her these days. I think she's a crazy lunatic, but the first Paramore album I heard was fucking awesome. It was excellent. I don't know anything else outside of that, but yeah, I don't know what's going on with them these days. Donut Fit says, damn it, Jeremy. I tried to remember Taylor Swift songs, and I could only remember country songs and the exact ones you mentioned. Well, yeah, those are Taylor Swift was actually people liked her a lot when she was a country singer. There's Rippa. Rippa. What up, Rippa? Rippa. I had to bring up some article on geeksandgamers.com or something in the forums. It was going around. This just goes into the bullshit. Everybody's like, oh, you're protecting Rippa from criticism. And I was like, dude, there's people were saying, taking a screenshot of this thing. Somebody posted something in the forums criticizing you. And they were like, how long is this one going to last? Geeks and Gamers going to take it down to protect young Rippa. I'm like, go fucking read the whole goddamn article right now. Go read it. There's people arguing for Rippa. There's criticizing Rippa. Rippa is a fucking lightning rod, and it's awesome. But yeah, Jeremy's going to delete this from his website to protect Rippa. And it's good Lord, man. Jeez, these people. It's interesting, man. What up, man? We're going to be hanging out at MegaCon, Young Rippa, a booth. It's going to be awesome. And I can't wait, man. I can't wait. Jose Taco says, I believe Taylor Swift's dad is a Trumper. I knew I liked Taylor Swift's dad. I don't know if that's true. I guess that video, where they're having that discussion or whatever, and she's whining about how important it is. I guess that was her dad. I'm not sure. Scully Bones says, Taylor Swift is such a plastic person. If the majority of the entertainment were conservative, she would be too. Well, yeah, man. It's all weird optics involved with everything. What did I say about... Okay, so the whole Vince McMahon thing. I've talked about the Vince McMahon thing a little bit. Look, I don't think Vince is a great guy, okay? I don't think Vince is a great guy. I think Vince McMahon's a very weird guy. Do you know what Vince McMahon's biggest crime is, though? His biggest crime is being friends with Donald Trump and not being friends with the Clintons. Because if Vincent Kennedy McMahon, the billionaire that has created an industry that has worldwide influence, if Vince McMahon was friends with the Clintons, you would have never heard of these allegations, ever. You would have never heard of these allegations. Period. But because he's not on the right side of the political world, of course, boom, you know? And I don't know if it's true. I know Vince is a weird dude, but the timing of all it is very strange, man. Right after he sold, and now suddenly he's having to resign right after he sold. I don't know, man. I've heard some wild, theories about how now Triple H. I heard there people are like Triple H is gonna serve Stephanie with some divorce papers, and at the bottom it's gonna say it's all about the game and how you play it. And then Triple H takes over the WWE, and there's no McMahons involved at all. Holy shit, dude! If Triple H divorces Stephanie and signs off with it's all about the game and how you play it. That would be the greatest thing ever. But there's some bullshit going on with that whole thing, man. And do I believe Vince McMahon has done some really screwed up stuff? Yes, absolutely. Do I think Vince McMahon is a weird dude? Yes. Would I trust Vince McMahon? No. Never. Not even close. So yeah, man, that's some wild stuff though. Wild stuff. Sophie says, whatever you do, don't open Discord. Oh my gosh. I'm pretty scared to see what I'm gonna whatever's in the Snake Pit Discord. I'm a little worried about that. If you have not, the Geeks and Gamers Discord, you can go and be a part of the Geeks and Gamers Discord, and within that Geeks and Gamers Discord is the Snake Pit, and it gets wild. It gets wild in there. The Buzz CJC says George Soros was a Yahtzee collaborator. Eric K says Taylor Swift has 279 million followers on Instagram. Let's see. Basilic says Taylor Swift is the nice conservative girl that got indoctrinated in college and is now a raging liberal. Now that is probably an accurate description, man. Go back. For those that have never seen Taylor Swift's song Tim McGraw. That's a good country girl. All right. And now she's now she's went to college. Now she's the raging liberal. Yes. That is absolutely awesome. Lying Dog Face Pony Soldier says, hail 2.1 or 2.9K. Yeah, we crossed 3,000 again. So again, thank you guys so much. I think that I'm kind of at that sweet spot. I think that 9 Eastern is probably going to work for a good start time. 9 Eastern is what I'm going to try to get consistently set on. I was going to go 8 Eastern, but sometimes Friday Night Tights runs a little late, and so that makes me want to push for the Friday show back. So I think Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I think I want to try to start at 9 Eastern, and that'll give me consistency all 3 days. And then with Friday Night Tights, if Friday Night Tights runs a little late, being at 9 Eastern will still be fine. It won't mess with the flow. So I think 9 Eastern is where I want to be. Jared Armstrong says Aaron Rodgers destroyed Kelsey by naming him Mr. Pfizer. I remember that. Eheb says, as a retarded person, your faith in this chat carries me through. Well, thank you. J.M. Elliott says Taylor Swift has let's see, won over young women. Young women sway our culture. They're counting on a culture shift by getting 18 to 30-year-old women. Andy Plays Games says anyone who could be easily influenced by Taylor has probably already been easily influenced by the media, so no loss or relatively little. That's kind of where I'm at with it, but I recognize that there's a lot of people that probably have a much better finger on the pulse of this stuff than me with Taylor Swift. Lying Dogface Pony Soldier with the 199. Thank you. Drew Bar 100 says ground beef is $9.50 a pack at Food Lion. To hell with Taylor Swift. This crap is getting ridiculous. Trump 2024. Absolutely. Lying Dogface Pony Soldier with the 199. JM Elliott says, Jeremy, you act like the government makes good decisions. Picking Taylor makes perfect sense. That's true. Ira Brownridge says, give me a Korn concert with Amy Grant all day. J.M. Elliott says Taylor is plan B. Neil Young was plan A. Ministry of Wrong Things says Ben Shapiro dropping bars. Even Hillary Clinton can get behind. Keck Lord says no more Swift. How about Eliza Blue? Ha ha ha. Darth Racer says tell Hayden if he's so afraid of Taylor Swift, he should just quit. Go live in a log cabin and curl up in a fetal position. Hayden's just saying, he's just making me understand that I might be missing a little bit of this. I hear what he's saying. Deadfly says, who is Pelosi? Still pushing Russia conspiracy? Holy hell. Or why is Pelosi still pushing Russian conspiracy? Holy hell. You know what I have been wanting to watch, though? I've been really, and I just restarted it. It's usually, right before bed, I'll watch, one episode of, House of Cards, and I've just started the series over. The first 3 seasons of House of Cards, especially with the political season getting where it's at now, I just love that show, man. I love House of Cards. I love how fucked up it shows you the world of politics is with Washington and the political maneuvering and how they manipulate and all of that. The last season is an abomination beyond belief. But the first 3 seasons are just fantastic. Really are. Eerily close to the real world of politics. Get Woke Go Broke says Trump does not like Lindsey Graham. He is being sarcastic. Remember, he purposely brought him on stage to get him booed. Didn't he? Was it Lindsey Graham that he gave out? It might have been somebody else. He gave out somebody's phone number at a rally back in 2016. Was it Lindsey Graham? I think it was Lindsey Graham. He gave out his phone number at a rally. I think it was Lindsey Graham, if I'm not mistaken. Who was it if it wasn't Graham? But I think it was Graham. Correct me on that one. Chet said it was Lindsey. Holy shit, dude. Trump's funny as hell. Objectively, a cat says, you need strong sanctions to stop Iran. Editor MG says, hi, Jeremy. Well, hi. Robo Guy says, what if they simply just refuse to fight and say help out the southern border instead? Can't get into a war if nobody's willing to fight. Yeah, easier said than done, though. Sir, Ruin of House Roundhead. I was at the Ravens-Chiefs game yesterday. Sucked to see my Ravens go out that way. Do you think the game was rigged due to Taylor Swift? No. I was watching, and, yeah, there was just... I know Lamar Jackson's a pretty good quarterback. He is not a great quarterback. I know a lot of people want to make him out to be a top tier great quarterback. He's very talented, incredibly athletic, but he is not a great quarterback. He's just not. And he makes bad decisions, and he threw into triple coverage like a fucking retard yesterday. The Ravens had every chance to win that game. They just screwed it up. Celluloid Dream says, I am tired of all these riggers rigging my games. Got to be careful. Avox Prime says, have you reacted to Shapiro's rap? It's hilarious. I think I pulled up just the part where he rapped the other day, but I didn't go too in depth on it, but it is funny. Aaron Alexander, I have respect for the Chiefs, except Mr. Pfizer. The problem is that they are influencer tourists like Taylor. See you at MegaCon. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Keck Lord says, that's a lot of cows. The Rundown, LOL. I want to watch that movie again. Chick74 says, I'm broke. Well, then why are you sending me a 199? I hope you're not really broke. Jake says, hosting Mondays through election plus executive producer. East Coast Toasted Boy says, Jon Stewart's a good Green Lantern. Hard worker. SBZ says, you said you don't hide anything. Show your hair. I've showed my hair plenty of times. Look. It's just now growing out again. See? And I just shaved it. I just shaved my head not too long ago. I just shaved it, and that's how fast it's already grown back. See? There you go. I've shown my hair plenty of times, and every time people are freaking out. Let's see. I think I shaved it like 2 weeks ago, and it's already grown back. So I will be gone the weekend of February 10th. Sorry, chat. You can't leave. You can't leave. Who dismantled sanctions against Iran? Obama. Zalisha says Haley was in Taylor Swift's Bad Blood video. So, yeah. Nikki Haley was? Really? Huh. Piano Dean says half of success is showing up. The other half is getting or being better than 7 billion other human beings. Thank you, Piano Dean. American History X. Everybody's saying I have gray hair. It's not really that gray. I have some gray spots on the side, but it's brown mostly. There's a weird. So it's all about lighting in here. I don't have my good camera in here at all. So yeah, man. I think I'm gonna let my hair grow out this time, and then I'm gonna like not wear a hat for like a week. I'm gonna let my hair grow out. It's gonna be long and luscious, and everybody's gonna freak out and call it a toupee every time. Like, what's that video I did years ago where I let my hair grow out? Let's see if I can find that video. Let's see if I can find it. Content. This was like 3 years ago. And I did such a clickbait title. This is, oh God, this is a long time ago. Yeah, this is 2019. Such a clickbait title. See how much I've aged in all this time here. Let's see. All right. Sorry, SJWs. I have hair. Keep trying to make things up about me as the title. Holy shit. Look at this shit. Everybody's so shocked when they find out I have hair. It's like, I know so many people that don't like me have always said, like, he doesn't have hair. That's why he covers it up with his hat. I have hair. I mean, I have a lot of hair. It's very thick. It's very healthy. It's very beautiful. And, you know, I'm sorry if that disappoints you, but I have hair. And I have eyebrows, too. I don't know if you can... Such a stupid video. It's so stupid. But that's like the longest I've ever like let my hair grow out. I usually keep my hair very short because I don't like my hair. So I just keep it very, very short. I don't like letting my hair grow out at all. Can't stand it. East Coast Toasted Boy says, who names their son Lindsay? Yeah, and honestly, that was back when I actually used to like go out to the beach and get sun. I look like a pale fuck right now because I haven't been to my pool because I've been in Orlando for the past year for the most part. I don't go to the pool anymore. I don't go to the beach anymore. I literally just make videos and deal with business shit and live stream. I have no life whatsoever. I kind of miss going to I used to just go out to the pool, put my headphones on and just listen to stuff. I don't relax anymore. I think I need to change that. I need to go back. I need to actually spend some time at the pool. Ghost Crusader says, Stephanie's resigned the first time allegations came out and they investigated. Then Vince left and used his shares to force them to get back on the board. Yes. Yeah. 100%. 100%. Let me see. Scott Steiner's Dangling Cable says, Soros owns her is BS. That's why she re-recorded all her albums. Soros has masters. Taylor has artist right. Hence, all re-released albums. Soros gets 0. Anna Gotten says, there is a video of Propaganda Machine, Taylor Swift, and her relationships with Meat Canyon. Can't say her name somehow. You can't say her name in a member message? That's weird. Herb Thompson says she's not swaying anyone from MAGA. She's guaranteeing that every single one of her fans actually votes. Lying Dogface Pony Soldier with a gifted membership. Thank you. Bubba45 says Tim Tebow is the face of college game day. He sucked as quarterback. Couldn't throw further than 4 yards. Dude sucked as a quarterback and works for ESPN. Don't get me started on this one. Please don't get me started on this one. don't do this. I've got a stream. I got a Fortnite stream. Don't get me started on I will defend Tim Tebow to death. Until the death, I will defend Tim Tebow. Don't get me started on this. I have done this so many times on Sports Wars. Don't make me get into defending Tim Tebow again, because I'll do it. I'll do it. Tim Tebow, greatest college football player of all time. Look up the stats. Look it up. Passing and rushing, look up the stats. NFL takes over a terrible football team. Takes them over, takes them to the playoffs. First time in the playoffs in God knows how long. Wins the playoff game. Goes against the number one pass defense in the NFL and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Throws for 300 yards and wins. Next game goes and loses to Tom Brady, and suddenly he never starts again. A first-year quarterback that makes the playoffs, wins a playoff game, and loses to the greatest player of all time and never starts another game. Never starts another game? Come on. Anyway. I'm not going down. Save it for Sports Wars. 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 Dirty Jersey says, when I was a lad, Madonna was a massive name. Everyone, all ages, could name at least one of her songs. My kids can't name one Taylor Swift song, nor one. I hear you on that. WG with 5 gifted memberships. Let's go. What's up, WG in the house? Coop says, play the video of Pelosi telling people to go back to China. I don't know if I have that one. Suspects Psychedelic Asylum says, hail the snake pit. Can we get the milk truck emoji before World War III? Let me look into it. Fing Book says, Taylor Swift, the CIA, just like hip-hop, just like hippies, all counterculture is a psyop. Jason Morgan says, greeting, Jeremy. I have been a loyal soldier and will continue to be a loyal soldier. Hail, Cobra. Thank you so much. Let's see. Eric K says Jeremy wore extensions for the cruise. Let's see. Beardo's Toupee says there's only room for one toupee on Geeks and Gamers, Jeremy. Keklord says not this boy's peen to the rundown. You're a big fan of that, aren't you? Hayden Wayne says my hair is about a foot long and looks brown, but it's actually red in the light. Your hair game is weak, Jeremy. Hey, all I know is the ladies, when I let my hair grow out, the ladies love it, okay? East Coast Toasted Boy says, I was actually talking about Lindsey Graham. It's clearly a woman's name. He's even got a feminist voice and demeanor. He even looks gay. He definitely does. Steve999 says, Jeremy made history with Benny and Vivek. Gamers are the path to a Trump victory. MegaCon next. Let's go. Vic Whiplash with 5 gifted memberships. Thank you so much. Alpha Zero Omega says NDAs are the only smart business at a certain point, but you have only shown a quality of character that is rare, particularly when content creators reach a certain level on notoriety. I appreciate that, man. I mean, I take pride in it. I mean, I don't think I'm just a normal guy. I don't have anything to hide. And I've surrounded myself with pretty awesome people for the most part. But when you are controversial by my standard, and I don't think I'm controversial, but I am controversial because I say things that, a lot of people in my sphere, and I don't mean like the nerd sphere we're in, but just like in general, like people don't like to talk about Trump when they're gamers and stuff like that, or in the nerd sphere or whatever. So you tend to rub people the wrong way for whatever reason. So it is what it is, though. Elite Neo says, hey, Jeremy, evidently Matt Jarbo did a live stream about a week ago where he jumped on the same bandwagon as actual fandom. Wonder who else in the sphere is looking for some legal repercussions. Yeah, I mean, I didn't see that one. I think someone mentioned it to me that he was just memeing on it. And that's fine, man. You can meme on it. You just can't make direct accusations, which, some did, some didn't. Memeing, laughing, that's part of the internet, man. I have no problem people meme on us, laugh on us, criticize us, whatever. When you make direct accusations, as one person did, And that's where it becomes a defamatory right there. Like, it's memes are memes. And so, but yeah, so, some of these weirdos will cross the line. For sure. Cam Man says Dylan Mulvaney loves Jeremy's hair. Jack Burton says, when Trump wins, do you think they will be brazen enough to try and delete him? If so, what do you think would happen in this country? I think that they want to do that to Trump. I don't think that they will. And I don't think so because I think that the powers that be understand how influential Donald Trump is. Donald Trump is so fucking influential. And I think that they know that they can't get away. They cannot get away with it. So, let's see. Keck Lord says a little bit of lightning and a little bit of thunder. Yeah, I hear you, Elite Neo. I appreciate it, man. And all honesty, like, all I would say is for anybody out there criticizing me, criticizing Geeks and Gamers, criticizing FNT, all of that, I would never ask anybody to you can defend if you feel that we are worthy of being defended, but I would say don't trash people or anything like that. Obviously, you can do whatever the fuck you want. You don't need my permission, but I'm just saying if you're wanting to know what I think, because I've had some people. There's been a lot of stuff going around. There's been a lot of things being said and stuff like that, and I just think that it's part of the territory. I saw like Westward Smile. Shout out to Westward Smile. He, he got a 199 tattoo, and I saw a lot of people going in on him over that, and I was like, dude, that's it's so cool that he did that. I have no tattoos on my body. I have none. I'm not saying I won't ever get a tattoo, but I mean, there's like several people that have gotten Geeks and Gamers related tattoos. I've always said, like, if you want to do that, you have my blessing. At no point in time would I ever ask anybody to do that, but I will always support it. And there's actually been a few other people that have told me they're going to be getting them. And, of course, I say to them, like, you don't have to. I will always respect it, and it blows my mind that anybody wants to do that for something that, I'm involved in. And it means the world to me. It's honestly humbling as hell. But at no point in time does anybody need to do it. But I see people like trying to meme on that and laugh at that and like trash him and everything. And I'm like, we are crushing it with Friday Night Tights and Geeks and Gamers, and Ripaverse is crushing it, and everybody that is kind of in my corner of the internet crushing it for various amount of reasons. And I think that's a good thing. I also think it's a good thing for other people to have success on their channels and their projects. I think everybody that's independent of the mainstream and the corporate world having success is monumental. And whatever that is, like, if that's people that, like, I don't do a lot of streaming with, like, I don't know, Midnight's Edge. I don't stream with Midnight's Edge or anything. I like those guys. I want them to, crush it. I want them to do their thing. EFAP with Mahler, which I am friends with Mahler, but like I don't go on their show that much. I know Mahler and Theory and Ryan are doing a show on Theory's channel now, which is super cool. You've got the Comics Gate out there, and there's a ton of people in the Comics Gate community. I want all of those guys to be successful with their own independent projects and things like that. Like, I don't think that there's any negative towards independent people being successful in their own respective way. I just don't think there's any drawbacks to that. As long as independent people are successful in whatever capacity, whether they like me or they don't like me, whether they have something against me, that doesn't matter. What matters is it's not tied to the corporate mainstream bullshit. That's it. And whether it comes to YouTube, I've never been jealous of another YouTuber. And I know I meme on the Tim Pool stuff. And I've said 1,000 times, and I know that it's never going to be heard by some of the Tim Pool fans that don't like me. I have nothing against Tim Pool. I don't want to see Tim's show suffer. I want to see him continue to grow because I think Tim Pool is a very important voice and figure in this big scheme of things of what's going on. I'm thankful for Tim's show, and I'm thankful that he has the platform that he has. And the fact that he has as many people as he has watching him is a testament to what he's done and it's something for me to strive towards. I don't want to siphon his viewers or anything like that. I want to learn from what he's done and continue to grow my own show too, and because I think the internet's big enough. It's plenty big enough for all of us. So anyway, with that said, that's the end of it. With all the drama and stuff, you're not going to get me involved in it. It's just not going to happen. People have been sniping at me for years, and there was a time where when I was just growing, I would respond to everybody because that was just in my mentality. But as the channel grew, and once I started to see a difference in the responses, where it turned into like, it used to be a genuine, like, people were coming at me for whatever reason. Then it turned into like, ha ha ha, I got him to respond. I got Jeremy to respond, or I got so-and-so to respond. And it's like, once I realized, like, maybe I don't realize it, but in someone else's mind, I'm a big deal. I'm not, but these people that are going after me think I am, and getting a response from me is their sole purpose. It doesn't matter what I say. Doesn't matter how I say it. If I respond, I lose. That is the fact of it right there. If you respond, you lose. Just like when I treated people, that if you respond to me, you lose. That's how it was flipping. So I'd recognize that. You can't respond, man. If you do, you're going to lose. It is what it is. So with that said, I appreciate you all. Hayden says, as a guy with long hair, low pony, let's see. As a guy with long hair, low pony is practical. Man buns are gay. I'll say it. Eric K says, lies, Jeremy has a rainbow tramp stamp cruise. All right, guys, this is going to raid the D-Day Cobra 199 stream. Fortnite is happening. I'll have some people over there with me. I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you guys will hang out. And we've had a top 5 Fortnite stream like every day the last few weeks. It's been incredible, and we might, can we break 800 viewers tonight? We'll see. That channel has, so what's funny, that channel has 3,500 subscribers. And we've had a few Fortnite people come in there and accuse us of view botting because we have so many viewers compared to the subs we have. And we had the #1 Fortnite stream the other night. Absolutely insane. Again, busy week with MegaCon and all of that. So I apologize for the lack of some of the shows that we're going to have this week. But we do have a lot of people coming to MegaCon. I can't wait to hang out with all of you. It's going to be great. Dark Rays Bree Vision says, hey, Jeremy, 49ers going to win the Super Bowl, and Taylor Swift is going to dump Kelsey for Purdy. Also, Lost is the type of nougat to eat burritos with ketchup. Whew. Had to be easy when I said that one. I personally, like, I wanted Detroit to win because I wanted them to go to the Super Bowl just to see Dan Campbell and the Lions fandom. But I will say that the 49ers are probably the better football team, and they're probably the better matchup for the Chiefs. So I'm hoping the 49ers can beat the Chiefs. Please beat the Chiefs. Please beat the Chiefs. We will see. All right, guys. I appreciate... Oh, Sexy. Is it Sexy back in? Did we make it? Oh, we are not at Sexy back end. We have a 2,000 like minimum now. Oh, this is interesting now. We cannot show the Sexy back end until we hit 2,000 likes. Ladies and gentlemen, a challenge for all of you. The fact that 2,000 people are still here is kind of crazy. So we are at 1878 on likes. Can we hit 2,000 likes? Oh, all right. We are less than 100 away. Less than 100. And the Sexy back end will be shown. And that's not even including Rumble, by the way. We've had a great night on Rumble and on Kick. Appreciate all of you on Kick and Rumble. 1930. Man, we've had a good crowd tonight, though. We had over 3K and holding over 2. And again, the goal for 2024 was to break 2,000 every stream. And we're doing a pretty good job of that. So, 1966. Band Cookie says, still watching. I'm crazy and I just got here. Well, I'm sorry that we're ending the show, but we do have a gaming stream if you want to hang around. Lost Tale says, hey, Jeremy, Lost here. The Dark Ray mofo sucks. Brief feet and worships Taylor Swift's crusty armpits. That's just gross, man. That's just gross. And we are closing in. We are 10 likes away from 2,000. 2,000. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. And... oh, not there yet. Not there yet. Not there yet. Almost. We're going to hit it. We're going to hit it. And 1996 on likes. Are we going to get an update, YouTube? YouTube just freezing on me? No. There we go. And boom. The sexy back end is here. And there we go. $874 in chat revenue, 53 new members, and that's not even including Rumble. That's sexy back in. Now, again, why do I show that? As a brag? No, as transparent and thank you. That's really the only reason I do that. So I really appreciate all of you. Amazing support we have over here. And as I always say, I don't know what I did to deserve your support, but I'm appreciative that you're willing to spend your time here. 3-hour CobraCast. This one went a little bit longer than I anticipated, but it was a damn good show. I thought we had a really good show. So J.M. Elliott says, do we not do Beard of Shame anymore? No, because the AI stuff was getting to be pretty complicated for what Jay Hailstorm was trying to do with it. They were blocking a lot of the public figures that he was putting in there. So we just decided to do away with that. So, and it was taking too much of his time because right now I have Hailstorm kind of clipping out certain segments that we can utilize for social media. So that is why. But, okay, guys, so we're going to end with Sabaton and then this stream, and I'm making sure that the raid will work. And then we're going live for Fortnite over on my D-Day Cobra 199 channel. I love you all. I appreciate you all. Have a great night, and we'll talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone.
It's my time to rule at last. 15 years have I been
Okay, guys, thank you so much. We're going to end this stream here, and this will raid D-Day Cobra 199. It'll be me, Beardo, Krista, and Hailstorm tonight on Fortnite. So we'll see you guys over there in just a few minutes. Love you all. Have a good night. Talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone.